Hello and welcome to another episode of Conversations with an Investor. We've got Mikey back for round 3. It's going to be a no-holds-barred conversation. We're going to get involved in, is the Earth flat? What would you do if you seen an alien? And is that the worst encounter that you can have? And we're going to go into what the encounters might be. So without further ado, let's dive right in.
Crocs were a bust.
But they've gave you the false hope.
They did. Parcel Force fucking sent me a date and then didn't deliver. There was no time scheduled. I was like, deadly, these are going to be here. Could present you them with your custom CWI fucking Crocs in your tie-dye psychedelic colours. And
is it the giblets or the things you put on them?
I believe that's their name, I
don't know what they're called.
So it'll say Geo CWI.
They can't not wear them now.
No, this is it, mate. You'll be a house croc cunt like, but and then eventually you'll do the dirty deed and go to the shops in them.
What's it like the first time you go out?
I'm trying to think of a comparison, but there isn't really any I could probably say.
Like going out and you with your wife's knickers on.
I mean, that would probably be the closest one. Gladly, I don't fit in my missus' knickers, but that would be a shocker.
How do you know?
Well, this is a fair point, huh? Walked into that one. But no, never tried.
Like if you're walking to the shops with your wife's knickers on, most people will frown at you, but there'll be some people who will give you the nod.
Oh, aye. Oh, like, you mean literally just the knickers?
Like,
just a thong, a set of cricket bats and a banana skin?
You're at the till, and you think you're at your normal waistband height, and out the top of it, like the sunrise.
You got to sort yourself, and there's two fucking
golden arches. Golden arches out, and they're like, oh yeah, we're one of them guys. One of they guys.
Mate, I had a guy in the shop actually. In my first studio, we were talking about this yesterday. This is a fucking story I hadn't remembered, but that's just literally ping it back in my head there. So this fucking weirdo came in. Kind of you get these pure fucking space invader cunts. Kind of like you're here, socially you have to stand here, but he's here. To one of the lassies, and I can't mind who it was.
There's somebody that just gets way too close.
Aye, it was basically like standing on her like this, and like fucking, it was just like, who's this cunt? And he's like, has anybody got any designs that I can look at? And I can't mind who it was, but he's looking through the designs anyway. He's like, oh, can I see if can I hug this against my leg? And we're like, aye, crack on. Next thing, the brakes are off. Pink thong, pink lady's thong. And he's like hudding it on his thigh and he's prancing a bit in front of the mirror. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Ken, when I'm
how is it holding him in?
Well, I could only see, I got the rear view. Right. So I didn't ken if there was a couple of fucking spaniels lugs hanging down each side of the fucking crotch. But because I'm just tattooing, I looked up and I've been like, what is going on here? And this guy's had this wee hang on with his wee, and I'm like, and he just was like, oh, I'm not sure I'll think about it. So I didn't ken if he just came in to get like his kicks off and just to I didn't can get a reaction or be a bit fuck knows. Never seen him again after that.
Like a weird sort of thong wearing flasher.
Mate, it was fucking weird. I was kind of one of them when I'm like, nah, didn't say anything.
Was it just you or was there other people?
No, the shop was full.
What did they say?
It was one of the ones where you're just looking at each other like, Ken, is this happening? Mm-hmm. And then when he left, I was like, what the fuck was that? But nobody said nothing to him. I was just like, I just couldn't, like, it was almost, obviously not as severe as the Whitey incident, but it was just complete disbelief. I'm like, what's going on here?
You don't believe what you're saying.
And every cunt is the same, just every cunt's like.
Why pink?
What?
Why pink? Like, mate, why a pink thong?
Who knows? Maybe the only one his ma had clean. I don't have a clue. Fucking.
That's the next level wrong. So he's wearing his mum's.
And he was fucking huge, lad. Not fat, but the cunt was nearly. Ken, he was probably heights with me. Yeah, he was fucking a knot. He was a big guy. Ken. It was just. It was fucking weird. I can't even mind why we got into that the other day.
Why do you think like that makes it weirder? That a big tall guy wearing a pink thong, possibly his mother's.
I mean, it's 2023 and we're stepping into territory here that's fucking, Ken, that you need to be careful at. But
Careful, hee-haw.
I didn't get why there's a grown man in my studio wearing lassie's underwear trying on a tattoo design in front of my mirror. This was years back, like you're going back probably about 8 years, but it was just strange.
I mean, like for the avoidance of doubt and like straight up, you know, like full disclosure, I've never had a thong on, but I imagine that if you put a thong on, like you've seen a lassie in a thong, you think that they've built it the way that they need for
a woman. Absolutely, yeah. They don't have to hold anything in.
They're not holding the junk.
No. Ken, they've not got a fucking set
You're maybe getting one out of three.
Trunk to fucking.
You get one out. You can have the.
You can choose one. You can't have all three. This is it.
It's
you're getting a single set.
Yeah.
And spaniel's lugs on either side.
You're getting the sausage or one of the pickled onions. You're not getting the full deck. No way.
I mean, like I says, I never seen it for the front, so I didn't care if it was maybe one made to kind of like a fucking like a posing pouch of sorts, but it looked very frilly. It looked very, very feminine from the rear.
I remember the first time I seen a guy, you know, and it was in like a shopping centre, like MacArthur Glen, and the guys obviously went out to get attention.
Aye.
And it's the low down hipster sort of jeans, and the thong was really, really high. And I'm thinking, I was in like the guy standing like the queue for the McDonald's in the food court packed.
Aye, but if he's cutting about in public, that's whatever for me. Like, if they're just being them, sound. But he's physically came in the shop, dressed as what you would class as a normal individual, and it's not like he just pulled the brakes down. He took them off, and like stood there and folded the fuckers like he was in his bedroom.
With the jeans.
Aye, it was just, the whole thing was just strange, Fucking bizarre.
And do you think the tattoo game brings the weirder, more wonderful clientele?
I mean, you hear stories and that, but in my shops, we've always been quite lucky. We've not had any proper weirdos, to be fair. Like, they've always been, because of the type of tattoos we do in the studios that I've had, you're it's all been serious tattoos. It's not been weird stuff. It's folk that have generally put a bit of thought into it, because you're covering a limb, a body, a back, or whatever. And even the folk that did the pieces in that, it was never any weirdos, ever really.
Like I've said that about your like the people that follow you.
Aye.
Like I would never cross paths with them, and then like seeing how they interact on your page.
Solid bunch.
They're a solid crew, like a really good bunch, and reasonably, you know, they're really like good. Like they're interactive, funny. Got a bit of crack.
That's what I'm saying. Like previously, that like I am very lucky with clientele, and the spectrum's massive. You've got from your underworld characters to your business professionals and everything in between. And everybody's brand new. They set their hair cracked. They've all got a good sense of humour. Nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
We go some fucking places in the studio. And
what do you mean?
Just like peaks and troughs with conversation. Sometimes it's above the table. Most of the time it's under the fucking table. And that's like before when Charlie was like, you should have a live feed. Nah.
No chance.
You talk about all sorts. Your fucking partners, situations, life things.
Is that fucking, is it like the same idea as you couldn't have a live feed in a confessional?
Oh, aye. Basically, 100%. Aye. Because we got into it last week again with Lassie and parenting chat and that, you know, and not anything I'll overly repeat because it was very personal to her, but like, it was a proper, because even after she's like, well, that was fucking deep. I'm like, you're welcome. Again, part of the service, sort you through your life troubles. And but
what do you think it is about some people, like, you know, when you get some people that just, you tend to find that people really open up to you?
Well, I don't know if it's because my career, I am in a position of trust. Someone's given you a whole bit of skin. Some of the times it can be quite intimate areas that not anyone's ever really going to see. And I don't know if they just feel comfortable, as long as you're not like, you do get a lot of creepy bastard tattoo artists in the industry. There was a big, massive movement the other year trying to expose a load of them. But if someone's...
What do you mean creepy? Like what?
Mate, just cunts doing horrible shit to people, preying on them, being pure fucking, like there was a couple of cunts that got the jail. Fucking like one guy for England, 81 women came forward against him. He'd done everything from groping to, I think, rape.
Wow.
Aye.
That's no good, that.
No, he's a fucking wrong'un. I don't know where it went, but hopefully the cunt's in jail. But there was this big movement. So there was a period of time where it was quite weird for being a tattooer and clientele with certain areas, and you had to try and be extra particular and thoughtful about how you were approaching people, just because this whole thing was up in the air. But I think if you've got an artist you can trust, isn't a creepy cunt, I think they just, I don't know, they're just comfortable and end up opening up. The stuff folk tell you and the things you go into and that can be fucking wild. Like,
I know what you mean. Like, Matt had said that is
who?
Michael, Stacey's dad.
Oh, right, sorry. Aye.
So Michael's like, I don't know how, like, people just tell you everything.
Me?
No, me. He's talking to me. Like,
Aye.
I'll go and see somebody and I'll get into a conversation and it's like it just all falls out.
I think people ken who they can talk. Like, there's just this thing, they're like, I can talk to this cunt. And then they do.
Yeah. And on the other hand, like, Stacey will say to me, you never tell me anything. And I think that's part of it, because I just don't, like, I just don't tell her anything. Like, there's somebody will come up, like, say you said, oh, remember we spoke about this, and she'll turn around and go, would you not tell me for? I don't tell anybody anything. And I think that helps, because, there's a degree of, like, okay, we'll keep this. We'll keep this between us. Like, you tell me something and that's...
Aye. And it's not, like, for me, not like, I wouldn't pass on someone else's shit to someone else anyway, but on the same token, like, you could confess your deepest, darkest secrets to me. I'll have forgotten by I've left the building that we've done that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were to bring it back up to me, I would remember, but initially it's just gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll get home and I've nothing to tell her, because she'll be like, what happened today? Nothing. And, like, I could have had the fucking most craziest day in the world, but by the time I get him out, it's gone, Can it suit the heat?
Aye.
And, but that came up in the shop yesterday. I was talking to a woman about relationship banter, and I'm like, I tell my missus nothing. She's like, that needs to change. I'm like, I didn't do it intentionally. I just don't do it. She finds out almost everything about what I'm up to on the gram.
Yeah.
And the woman's like, it could be because you can't, because you're talking all day and you're telling folk this and that, you can't differentiate between who you've told and what you've not told. I'm like, I will use that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep that one in the bank.
Aye, that's it.
Yeah.
And then Charlie came in. I'm like, speak of the devil. This is the woman I tell nothing to. Yeah. I was like, tell her what you told me to use in the next thing. She's like, don't be giving him fucking excuses.
What you were saying that you got into, you had a conversation the other day. Who were you getting into?
Who?
You were saying the other day, you said you were getting into quite a deep conversation. Then we went off on a tangent to just rung-ins and the...
I know, that was quite a deep personal conversation for a particular client on a journey she's on, so I won't delve into that on this as well. Because I know she watches these and that, she would hella not appreciate it if I hadn't spoken
well done, thanks for taking the time to listen to us, two knuckle draggers.
No, she's sound, to be fair. I finished her leg sleeve the other day, it's looking good.
Some of the stuff you put up's been cracking lately. Like, your stuff's got a high bar, but some of the stuff's been
it's good. Awesome. It's funny because at the minute, like, I managed to start getting a couple of pieces that I'm finishing. You can tell when you open and close the diary, because it's like a month straight, line, and then the next sessions is in that point where you're getting through it, but it's not photographable. There's no point putting a picture up yet. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm completing shit. So I completed the chest piece. I've got her leg sleeve finished. I finished the leg sleeve yesterday. I'm going to finish a back piece tomorrow.
I think I've seen that clip with the leg sleeve. It was quite a slender lassie.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Aye, it was a geisha with a dragon and flowers and that, black and grey one. It came out super nice. So this week, I'm getting to the point now where I'm finishing pieces, so I've actually got some fucking content that isn't just lines. Folk like the line work stuff and the silly wee drawings and that, but it's also nice to see where they go eventually when the appointments actually come in. So it's good, because it gets to a point when I'm like, these cunts are going to get sick of seeing these wanky fucking drawings. And I thought, tag me in the finished article. I'm not going to remember fucking... like, I'll post it, but I can't be tagging cunts. I can't mind you. So
it's funny, I got one the other day. My pal Baz, he's...
Big Baz?
Big Baz, Big Thug Life Baz. So,
see the English guy?
No, that's Paul.
Oh, that.
That's Big Paul. He passed away.
Oh, is that?
That
That sucks.
He passed away. He wasn't English. He was South African. He's born in Scotland and
He
was
spoke
raised in
quite
South
well,
Africa.
though. He was quite.
Everybody thought he was English.
Yeah.
He used to send him wild because he's Scottish. He used to send them round the twist. But Big Baz is the. He's there's not a grain of Englishness in him. He's Easter House through and through.
All right, definitely.
But he, so we used to train at the gym, and there was a lassie that was plodding along, and she'd come and chat to me and Baz, always in early doors, and I'd give her grief, but like, you need to stop like this plodding nonsense. You're like, you're doing a lot better than you are, and you're just like, you give her a bit of a hard time. And one of the clips was the other day, she's like, take it, you're aiming that right at me. And like, tag me in. And the people want tagged in the things you think, oh, you know, I better not mention it. No, get me in.
Aye. No, that's it.
Somebody getting like one of your clients getting like speared with a Sharpie. Tag me in, that Sharpie's right in my back. That'd be I want to show that to the pals.
I need to do that actually. I've not thrown any Sharpies at cunts yet. I've done that one boy, but I fucked the transition on it, so I need to actually.
I didn't see that. Did you put it up?
Aye, yeah, but that's the problem. I need to try and figure out a way to edit the video so when I throw the pen, it slows down a bit. 'Cause obviously throwing it's rapid, so I need to try and figure out if I can edit and slow-mo that bit. Not much, but like it's hitting them and dropping too quickly, and then the transition. So it's no.
Needs a wee bit of finesse.
I need to try and slow that bit down so you actually see it. Ken, not like make it slow motion so the fucking throw takes 5 seconds, but just enough that it's not bang down and then the fucking transition. So I kind of fucked that one, but learning curve. I'll get there.
See, when you're in the studio and you're having these deep conversations, what's the one that's quite under the table that comes up most often?
Under the table. To be fair, it's fucking mostly like drugs and shit, to be fair. And then you go down fucking, I think the other day we were fucking writing about Fritzl and everything. I fuck knows how Fritzl came up.
He's not been in the news for ages.
This is what I'm saying. I can't mind what we were talking about and how we ended up on Fritzl.
Joseph Fritzl.
Locked his daughter up for 24 years and had 7 bairns to her or whatever, Fritzl. That fucking wrong, man.
The family funhouse, kids eat free.
Ken. And his bird.
The worst family restaurant you could ever visit.
And the wife knew nothing about it.
How could you know nothing about it? The daughter's away.
It's full of shit.
The daughter's gone. There's
but
a
these kids
steel
just keep
vault.
appearing.
I found this kid out in the street.
She must have came back and dropped a bear for us to watch, and another one. Very good. She fucking knew.
Madness.
The was a wrong one. But I don't know how we got on the Fritzl.
Is that as far outrageous as it gets? Like, no UFOs, aliens.
Oh no, we go flat Earth. We go fucking.
What's your thoughts on flat Earth, Mikey? This comes up all the time.
I know it's a really tricky one because, like, if you look at it from the flat Earth side, you can get on board with it, and if you look at it from what the primary school tells us, and that you can get on board with it. It's when you bring logic into it that it starts to throw it up in the air a bit. Ken, like for instance, water. Water is our national fucking unit of leveling. So that is sitting flat. Doesn't matter how I put this bottle, you can't actually see that on the fucking camera, but water lays flat. But if I take that out and pour it in the ocean, it suddenly curves round the ball. And so it's silly wee things like that you're like, how? And then you've got science that'll be like, oh, because of this and because of that, blah, blah, blah. And like, we're on a ball that's spinning, what is it, fucking, it's like spinning.
Speed of rifle, it's
like 22,000 miles an hour or something.
No, the Earth is travelling through the universe at 66,000 miles an hour, and the ball is spinning at 1,200 miles an hour.
Aye, that's it. While we spin around the sun at 504,000 miles an hour. So
I might just put any number you like.
We're spinning 3 different ways.
Aye.
But when you're brought up in school, you've got the stationary sun, and we're all just doing this round it. And that you take it at face value. And then you find out the sun's moving. The sun's orbiting while we're orbiting, while the moon's orbiting, and all these planets are fucking doing this mad corkscrew, crazy hang. And you hang.
It's a good topic to take your mind off getting hit with a needle and off a tattoo gun, because it's heavy on the brain. Because my thought, I've had the conversation. Like I bet a pal of mine
Aye.
who came out with the flat Earth. Now he's not 100% completely sold in the idea that the Earth's flat, but he's very skeptical. But he has a natural degree of skepticism in him. So I said to him, I was like, I bet him. I says there's a MiG fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Fighter jet that you can hire. The ticket price is like €25,000, and it was designed as an interceptor plane. It goes up high enough that you can actually see the curvature of the Earth. I was like, so I tell you what we're going to do, right? We're going to take a GoPro up. I'm going to go up, and you're going to go up. You have a GoPro. I have a GoPro. We're going to shoot up, right? We'll take the footage, and we'll see it with our own eyes, and we'll take it the imagery, and then we're going to come back down, right? If it's flat as a fucking ciabatta, if we're on a bit of garlic bread, I'll pay for the tickets, right? If it's got any curvature, you're paying for the tickets. It's €25,000 a whip.
Easy.
I was like, so are you, like,
that would be worth the money just to solve the world conversation about it, like Bosch. But see, it's tricky though, because you've got the people that are like, oh, it's a disc floating in space. Nah, is it? Is it just a disc? And then you watch stuff from like Admiral Byrd, who apparently has crossed Antarctica and says there's more land. So I don't know if it's necessarily flat, but he's a trusted man, Admiral of the US Navy. You know, he's not wee Mad Davy for the post office that fucking robs it every time they get money in. He's a guy who's been put in a position of fucking power. And he's adamant. He's like, yeah, we've seen landmass across the ice. Yeah. It's there. We've been this. We've found this. We've found X, Y, Z, and it's being suppressed. So, is it flat? Probably not. Is
it the Truman Show?
See, I was watching some guy at some point. Some tattooed guy with shit all over his face, and he was going on about something similar to that, and like, almost like you can't see past a certain point because it hasn't loaded yet and it's like buffering. I got fucking lost with that.
Well, they were talking about like the one they always refer to as like the United Nations flag. So the United Nations flag has got all...
It's a flat Earth.
It's
so
flat,
it's UNICEF's.
And then it's got the crown sort of
radar. Radar only
it.
works on a flat Earth map as well. All the World War II bombing logistical maps were flat Earth maps. This is the thing that starts to make people question it. And then it's like, for me, like, where are you on it?
Like, I mean, there's some of the parts that I've heard. Like, I was fairly good at the sciences in high school, so chemistry, physics.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And I got into the weeds with how science measures these things.
Yeah.
And there's some of the things that the flat earthers say, and I'm like, right, you just don't get this, right? So it's like, for instance, you've got a car, and the car's earth.
Aye.
And you find the ignition key, and your proof that this car doesn't work is you've stuck the ignition key in the exhaust. So you're like, that's not a car. And I'm like, right, see if you do this, which is how it was made and how we understand it. Look, and it goes on. And so you can shoot down some of the argument. And then there's other parts where there's like on the other side of it, you know, there's some of the stuff that they say and you go, I tell you what, that's worth a look.
There's one of the things that really, so my hang on it, I don't get why they would say it's round if it wasn't. That's like, just breaking it down to simple terms, why would you say it's round if it's flat? I don't understand what you have to gain. Now, if it was a bigger ball and there's more than what we're told, that would make sense, but you're only suppressing the size, not the shape, if you get me. So I don't understand what they have to gain by saying it's round if it isn't. So my inkling would be to stay on the side that it's fucking round, because what do you gain by changing the shape? I can't.
Well, if the thoughts are, if I understand them correctly, that the concept is that if you want to keep people under your spell or under control or under, brainwash them into a certain way of thinking, the easiest way to do it is the bigger the lie you tell them, the more difficult it is for them to believe it's a lie. So that's a common tactic that's been done with like propaganda, for example.
From that though?
Well, you have control. You have control of the narrative and the story. So if you convince people that it's one way, then you can shape everything around that lie, so that you are now the authority in everything that's happened. So like for instance, there was like one of the ones that I heard was, you know, you've got the Earth's flat and it's within the 60th parallel of Antarctica is essentially the ice wall that's all the way around.
Yeah.
The reason you can't go down and explore Antarctica is because
they say
you can't go past it, because you would figure out it's a big wall. And then we're encapsulated in that, and all the aliens and extraterrestrials are actually outside the wall, but are on the same element.
On the same planet.
They're on the same sort of space or whatever. Well, if we're not, is it still a planet if we're on a frisbee? I don't know.
Well, this is why there's some of the folk that say it's just a bigger ball, and there is land on the other side. And one guy's got this theory, because so Admiral Byrd goes over in the 50s, whatever it was. He's like, he's like, I've seen land on the other side of the ice, continent the size of America. They've been in a cave that has what he described as a crystal city inside it. He's seen all this shit. Naval guy. He comes back. They're planning a trip back over in 58 or 59. Mysteriously dies in his sleep. NASA appears. The world's round. Antarctica is a continent, not a ring. And then the Antarctic Treaty comes out of nowhere. No, Antarctic Treaty was first. You had 207 countries or however many it was that can't agree on fuck all. They're all like, we can't go there.
Why? That's the thing is, like, so say for instance, if your bit that you want to control is the bit within the Antarctic wall, you need to tell a story that makes no one question that there's a wall. You need a story, a narrative. You need you won't go looking, because looking makes no sense.
Because it's that you're going to die.
You're going to go like, well, why would you look on a ball? But you're just going to go round and round and round in circles.
Yeah.
So that would be the case.
Because one of the biggest theories that I came across is Admiral Byrd talks about gold, coal, plutonium, uranium, the resources are ridiculous. So if they've been like, they've just went, right, this is ours, Nathan can come here, this is ours to cool. And if that was the case, just say that. I would get, right, cool, you want to keep that for yourself, sound, not an issue. It's just the fact you can't go there. Why? Because you can't. If you go there, it's 25 grand fine if we don't shoot you in the face. Sound.
But they're not going to let you come back, surely.
Well, that YouTuber boy landed on it.
Mr. Beast?
No, not Mr. Beast. The guys went missing. He landed on it.
On Antarctica?
He landed on it. And then the military appeared from nowhere, took him away, and he's never been seen again.
Yeah.
But the military were there on the ground. Not, they flew in, they came round apparently, and you can see the footage apparently. But again, it's 2023. You can't trust a video now. I've seen Biden talking about kind of like an AI hang of Biden.
Yeah.
Going on about, I can't even remember what the fuck it was.
Fat booty ass chick.
Yeah, that shit, aye, yeah.
That's funny stuff.
And if you didn't know it was bullshit, if you were just like some guys like, come check this old guy out talking, you'd be like, fuck, he's gamer. So you can't really trust video now.
Biden, top shagger.
Aye.
And mad stoner and top shagger.
Top boy.
He's putting out in the White House.
Smashing it.
The White House pimping ain't easy.
The one thing that got me with the flat earth thing though is if we're spinning while spinning, why is the plough above my house 12 months of the year every night?
The cloud?
No, the plough. In the star constellation. If we're spinning 3 different ways, why don't the stars move? Every night for 12 months of the year, the plough is just directly above my house. It doesn't move. But we're apparently flying around the Milky Way 3 different ways. I don't know how.
So where do you think is stars then if you're on a ciabatta?
That's the one thing I can't work out. Like, I just don't get why the stars don't move. Because if I was on a spinny chair now, that light is static. But if I was to spin, the light would appear to spin because I am in motion. But the stars are static. And I have the exact same constellation above my house every night for 12 months of the year.
But are they static?
Well, they must be. I mean, they might move during the day.
Well, that's the whole thing with astrology. We move through the We move through the constellation of the stars.
Aye, but I have the plough above my house 12 months of the year, so how?
What is a plough? Is that a constellation?
It's like the 4 dots that create a plough with a line.
We'll need to look into it. You know what we're going to get? Going to get one of the like TVs that Joe Rogan's got. We'll need to get a Jamie and we'll just start pumping this stuff up on screen.
Right, get it.
We need a Jamie.
Because it's the question that you need fucking... Because, like I say, it's that... Again, it's another one of these things that just divides the people.
What do you think if you see I was... I'm Mikey, I am game.
I have no signal in here, huh?
I am game for anything. And I mean, if it's choice between inaction and action, I'm your action man.
That's it.
And the one that would stop me dead in my tracks...
Go on then.
UFO lands and out comes an alien down the wee steps.
Aye.
And it's communicating with telepathy.
It's
not even talking, Mikey. It's just
in your head.
It's putting the communication
into you
in my head.
Aye.
You know, you get people like, would you video it, take pictures, would you go up and speak? No, I'd be planted like a fucking tree. I would be totally frozen. You know that way, like an extreme version of when that guy came in with the pink thong. That would be me. Like, I am in complete disbelief of what I'm seeing.
That's
it would just, and I've said to the missus, because it's like we were heading up to Loch Rannoch, in the car, and we were driving on a rural road, classic sort of setup. You know, John is driving through rural county in America. Next thing, you know,
bright lights.
Exactly, bright lights in the sky. It was a completely dark night. You know, and then you know, some county sheriff's like 3 miles away, and he's seen the light and rushes down there and finds like you know, Dave in his car, completely startled, half naked, been in for an examination. There's a cattle with no blood in it, so completely. And I just think to myself, I would be completely frozen if that happened.
Oh, big time, mate. But if, like, obviously folks think fucking aliens are among us in the now and all that crap, but like, kind of folk, like, if they came, blah blah blah, we would be fucked.
How?
If they've came here, if we're on a ball and they've came from another ball, they're instantly more advanced than us. And the first thing we're going to do is show up with a fucking army with guns and shit. Oh, we come in peace. Well, you don't, pal, because you've got 45 tanks behind you.
I'll be alien, right? I'm going to be alien. Right? I'm communicating with, you know, none of that take me a leader nonsense. I'm hearing my, like, sport model disc just blasted through like a wormhole. Rosenberg Bridge, pew, landed here. And you've got these, like, essentially, you know, advanced monkeys with their wee shooting metal box thing, and they're giving it, you know, we
the monkeys in this situation.
They're giving it like, you know, you need to, you know, cease operations. Like, you're doing nothing.
You're doing.
I just
Conor McGregor. Sit down.
You're doing nothing.
You're doing nothing.
I've got a force field.
What are you going to do, mate? Shoot me. I'll bounce off me. You'll shoot yourself, you clown.
Like, you know, we need to come up with a suitable alien. He'd be like Paul the alien, like that, smoke like a doctor. Carry on, boys. That's where.
That's it.
Is that it?
That would be amazing, though, if it was live across the telly and he's just like, shut your mouth.
But
sit down.
He's putting it right in your head. Can you imagine like an alien coming out, swagging out the ship like the Conor McGregor? Can you imagine it coming out and you've got, you know, Yippee-ki-yay, you know, Colonel like John McClane from like
it'd be even better if he did
US.
like a fucking, like a Professor Xavier, froze every cunt else and just you. It's just like, here, pal.
And, you know, he's probably saying something profound like, this is your moment for humanity. You know, what are you going to do? And you turn around to Xavier like, I've shit my pants, mate. So I'm doing fucking nothing. I have shit my pants. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's frozen. There's an alien just came out of the ship. And you're telling me I've got the future of the world rests on my shoulders is I've done a number 2 in my briefs because I've got no idea what's going on. And the last thing in my mind is, where's my iPhone to take a picture?
Like, pal, gives a shot of your fucking disc.
That's the thing is, like, what would you normally do? Like, you know, when you're young and somebody new comes in, you know, you meet somebody, you think, oh, this is good. If there's a new pal, would you do? You know, what's it like where you're from? Where are you from? Can we go to your bit?
Aye.
Like, these are the normal things that you would do.
Do you have trees there, pal, where you're from?
Like, how fast does it go? Take us a shot.
Aye,
Show me,
a
like,
blast. Shotgun.
show us your bit.
Shotgun, mate. Can we take this through a Mackey's drive-thru?
What do you used to do on Fridays?
Aye. Do you get on it? Do you go to Seshley him?
You can picture the scene, like, where you're trying to go, like, going back to your clients when they're talking about drugs, like, what you's got? You got what sort of stuff you's got? You must have good stuff where you're from.
You must take good gear on your planet, lad.
Show us what
He's
it's
a
like.
blast.
Can you leave us some?
Leave me a bit.
When are you coming back? That would be. I would be planted.
The Americans were saying there was fucking aliens here the other fucking month.
Do you see the paper mache? I'm like, that's the best. You've got all this CGI. Let's just blow. Let's just go.
What are
with
you
it,
on
right?
about that body hang they found?
Aye, the Mexican government came
Oh
out
no,
with
there was another hang in America. Apparently, the fucking did found aliens or some shit like that. Because I mind seeing some conspiracy guy on TikTok, and he's like, you ken how far we've came as conspiracy theorists when the American government like, aliens are here, and we're like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
No. Relax, pal. They're no here. Take a chill pill. Aye, that was a few months ago now. Might even be longer, to be fair.
It's like when somebody shows up and they've just says that they've got like some designer clothes. It's clearly a fake, and they're like, you know, I've just got this new Hugo Boss hoodie, and you're like, nah. And that's what the government's like with these aliens. I was. You remember Bob Lazar?
Yes.
I heard Bob Lazar early 90s.
Aye.
Maybe 94. Fascinated. I bought his.
How old were you in 94?
I was 9.
Was it? I was a lot younger than you.
So I bought he done the drawing in the Netflix documentary Area 51. He drew the sport model and he signed them, and I've got one in the house. I bought it.
A genuine one?
Genuine
Fuck
one. Signed by Bob Lazar.
That's mad.
And I've got the t-shirt, got 115. You know the element 115?
Yeah.
So I got the t-shirt, glows in the dark.
That's fucking
Talk
cool.
about a 9-year-old.
Yeah, for
instantly put it on, and I'm like, whoa. But he tells the story. He tells about the disc, the sport model. Like I'm more a believer that we've been visited. There's been aliens.
The thing is, like, to believe we're the only intelligent life anywhere, bollocks. Can it be? Like, even just on a statistic point of view, we can't be. Like, we know of I think definitely 3 planets that have the recipe for life, if you like.
Mikey, we lost MH370 and apparently couldn't find it, but we are certain no life exists in 2 trillion star systems in an ever-expanding space.
No danger.
Look, sing me another lullaby, because that one was pish.
Aye, there's no danger. Because the planets they found that are matching us, someone was going on about visiting them, but then the technology that we have now, by the time we got there, we would already be there. Because I think they pegged it would take, to the closest one, it would take something like 250 years in space. So it'd have to be like 5 or 6, 7 generations of people that would live on the way there. But by the time they got there in 250 years, we probably came up with a way to fucking do that, and done.
Do you know when you're on you ever been on a holiday with the lads and you get to week 2, you're ready to kill each other?
Who goes on holiday with the lads for 2 weeks? That's fucking hardcore.
People that have really made a tragic error. That's
big time. You do that once.
That's a mistake.
And then you're like, 3 days is perfect.
I don't know anybody who want to go on holiday for 2 weeks. I by day 11, I'm getting my own tits.
I found that in Crete earlier this year. Crete is not a place you can go for 2 weeks.
Nah.
See, after a week, I was done. I was good. I mean, the hotel was a fucking shocker, like, but aye. Fucking depends where you go, though, too. But I couldn't go away with one of my neighbours for 2 weeks, I don't think.
But it's like, imagine doing that, but you're on a space mission for 7 generations.
I know.
No chance.
And by the end of the first generation, you're starting to jump in the same bath, huh?
Aye.
And by the fucking 7th generation, the cunts are going to come out all fucking twisted and fucking interbred to fuck.
Has your,
so it wouldn't work.
has your planet got water? How? Because we've all got web feet.
Yeah, basically, lad, aye. Okay, and it'd have to be some clever fucking, I don't know, Ken, test tube babies along the fucking route or something, I don't know, Ken.
Rough ride, man. You go. You imagine your mum and dad telling you stories about how we used to live on this planet, and it was maybe a ball, but it was maybe flat, and we're on this, and you've been brought on this ship, like, and this is what you chose for me.
Aye, 4 walls. You're going to spend 70 years here, pal.
Your only mission is to create another spawn for them to then exist.
To
create another spawn.
I think the state of the cunts mentally when you got there, fried. They wouldn't want to get off the fucking ship. Like, look at all that space. Fuck.
If you want to imagine what it's like, go to a post office on a Tuesday in Glasgow. Like, you're going to get an image of somebody that's there's going to be somebody that's had a really bad one over the weekend, had a really rough weekend, and you would get a measure of what it was like.
I mean, I was in a fucking chemist in fucking Bog Hall and Bathgate the other day getting some bits, and it was obviously methadone pickup time, and there was all these cretins fucking crawling in on the fucking roof in their droves, and just like, wow.
Like zombie apocalypse.
What a fucking existence.
It's
fucking cool though. That whole chemist is robotic.
Is it?
It's a mad fucking robot.
What do you mean it's robotic?
So like when you walk in, there's this mad panel and there's a fucking robot that's doing all the drugs and sorting things out and putting things in fucking different bits, and it's fucking cool. Like,
is it?
Aye. No sad thing to find in fucking Bog Hall for starts, but
not exactly Silicon Valley of the world,
but the fucking chemist is fucking AI robot to do his head, and it just puts all the fucking drugs out to the staff, I suppose. But it's this fucking whole section. You can see it's a big glass wall, so you can watch the thing doing its fucking stuff. It's fucking cool, like.
Was it just mesmerising all the methadone crew?
They weren't really paying attention. I think by that point they're starting to cluck a wee bit. They're just looking at the wife and like, when's it my turn?
Fuck
your robot.
I get AI, hurry up, chop.
I appreciate you've tried to distract me with your crazy fucking swinging about chicken, but can I have my fucking brown liquid, please? Fuck that.
Nah, it's no life, is it?
It doesn't appear to be one. No for the outside looking in anyway. I mean, I'm sure there's certain points in their day that are fucking great, but I'd rather not find out, personally. One of my neighbours says when he retires, he's wanted to try the fucking smack. I'm like, why? He's like, it must be great.
What?
He's like, this is when he retires, he's like, I want to try it. I'm like, why, lad? He's like, have you ever seen a junkie that, kind of at that point, he's like, they're fucking walking twist it backwards up the street and they look like they're having the bet, like where they are in their head, it must be fucking amazing. I'm like, nah, pal. I can't get on board with that one. Like,
that might be the case until they're like robbing their granny's house and stealing stealing a car battery for a $5 to go and get another fix.
That's it, mate. Yeah,
it's extreme ends. Like they might be in complete bliss at that point, but how far down the dodgy road does it take them?
That's the first junkie I've seen in years, to be fair. I've been doing all right. I've not seen any of them for a long time.
Some of the ones in Glasgow with decent patter, they're quite funny. They're quite. I mean, you get your usual kind of like lost causes, and they're not having something's where they've taken a wrong turn and they're miles down the wrong road.
Aye.
But you got ones that are just circling around about having a great time, and they're at least they've got a bit of character about them.
There was a lassie that came in to the studio in Dunfermline, and she was obviously an addict of some sorts. And she came in, and Charlie's a nice lassie, so she's not going to dismiss her or tell her to leave her that. So Charlie gave her a bit of time and spoke to her and that. She's like, can I speak to one of the guys about a tattoo? And Charlie's like, they're just in there. And she kind of walked in the room. And I don't know if she couldn't see any of us, because the room was quite big at that point. She just kind of walked in, looked around as if it was empty, and then walked back through. And then went back to talking to Charlie. I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? And Charlie took a wee bit, again, felt a bit bad, took a bit of pity on her. At that point, she was selling, there was some clothery things that she was selling in the studio. So she gave the lassie like a pair of shoes and something, and they made the lassie feel good about herself. And she's like, most folk just normally ignore me. And when she left, I was like, that poor lass is going to get pooed by the polis. And they're going to assume she's been on the fucking chore. Okay? She's away doing the street with some dishes and that. And they're going to be like, here, Rachel, where the fuck did you get them?
Aye.
Again, I was just like, she's like, I never thought about that. I'm like, I guarantee you she'll get pooed on the way up. Because the police will ken them on the area.
Aye.
And she's walking down there with a new top and a new fucking pair of shoes. They're going to think she's
Was
well
it branded?
fucking... What?
Like, was it logoed up?
It was decent clobber, like. It was
Right.
Iron Fist stuff, kind of
Right.
like alternative type chat.
Right, okay.
Do all nice shoes and all that type of shit. I'm like, they're going to think she's been on the chore, huh?
I mean, like, I don't know if it was like the studio, because, you know, the advertising of the studio is probably like an important thing. You want to, you know, if you've got something.
Oh, like
in
mag
the
gear.
suit, aye.
No, I'm in the process of doing stuff there now. It's just trying to find fucking decents. Because everyone's always wanting, the Tiger hoodies or Tiger t-shirts and that and shit like that. So
Have you got the logo?
What?
Have you got that logo?
Yeah, of course I do.
Aye, so you've got the image.
Aye.
You've got a guy that does it.
Is it?
Aye.
Oh, sweet. Put me
Aye.
in touch.
Get you hooked up. All automated as well, so you don't need to do anything.
What do you mean?
It's all they'll like the once
Oh,
you
is this
set
what you
the
were on
design.
about the other day?
Aye, they'll set the design and that's it. Like people can go in and order it. And that's it. Sort of, you don't need to do anything.
Issue with that is what I need is bigger than an automated printer can do.
What do you mean?
So the way I'm wanting to do my next hoodie is it's basically the entire back of the top, and screen print and stuff like that can only do a certain size.
Right.
So the things are all going to need to be at least double or triple screen printed to get the scale and what I'm wanting done. That's the only issue. So I need to have a conversation with the man to find out if it's something he can do.
Should it be easy done?
Aye, it's a tricky one with merch too, because you're like, how much do I get made? People say they're going to buy it, and you outlay a couple of grand. Are they going to buy it?
Oh, this is like
No, I know what
it's
you're
print to
saying.
order.
It's they'll go on and order it and whatnot, and but it's whether he can do what I want him to do in that sort
Why
of
don't you do
setup.
it first with the normal stuff, and then if you could pre-sell the one with the triple print. You could pre-sell it and see, like, doing a pre-order, order it, and then you would know how much to
Because
do.
if they can't do it, then I'm fucking up shit creek. I need to find out if he can do it first.
Aye, you
before I
find
do
it
anything like
first. So, look, I'm thinking about doing a pre-run of this,
that. Aye.
and then, like, you know, if you're ordering 1,000 or 100 or 10,000,
That
or
would be quite clever as well, in order to actually get numbers of folk that actually want
not just
them.
a pretty face, Mikey.
Well, you do all right for yourself,
You know
chap.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it's, good. There's some stuff going on in the cogs and my grey matter there.
That's a good, like you say, to get actual numbers.
We pre-sell it, and that way you know. Like
Yeah,
that way
this
you're
is
not
it.
getting,
You know exactly
Aye.
what you need to fucking get.
you can fund it. You've got the flow. You've got you've got it up front. So you're,
That's a good shout.
you can take away a lot of the
Aye.
hassle, and then you can just rerun it again if like people want to come in, order more or stuff like that, and then you can get the normal merch, but you can just like click a button and go and get it there. But if you want like limited edition stuff for this triple print, then
Aye,
we're doing it. It's pre-order and it's got like a run of 500, so it's first come first serve.
I like that.
Aye.
That's clever. Because I always try and keep t-shirts and shit in stock, though, kind of for taking to conventions, and kind of if they're hung up in the studio, folk are like, oh, can I get a t-shirt? So it's handy to have stuff there as well. But I like that, especially for this one, because it'll be a bit of a pain in the arse to get the triple print thing done.
Well, I'm sure if you can get a chemist, a pharmacy with a AI robotic machine pulling
meth out of fucking
method
shelf,
on
aye,
it of
to snipe
a
the
shelf
fucking-
in Bog Hall, I'm sure you can get a print design on a hoodie. It's just a matter of who.
Right, well, this is it.
Who do you think's, like you said there, is aliens among us? You got anybody in the firing line that you would have on your hit list of who's definitely an alien or who's got a high probability of being an alien?
Well, everyone thinks Elon Musk's a fucking alien, eh?
Definitely. He's got high probability.
I've yet to see him blink sideways though, kind of like the cunts in fucking Men in Black. That would be a dead giveaway if they can't blink sideways.
I would be. But he's
I don't know though. Like did you hear about him like drilling into the Earth's core and that because he doesn't believe what he's been told and shit like that, and fucking about trying to decide if there's a firmament or not and all that stuff. He's been going down a couple of rabbit holes. Like I'm sure he got him bother for digging into the Earth's core.
how far down did they go?
Pass. Not sure.
So you made that Jamie.
I've been struggling. This is it. I've been struggling to find out what I just heard that he had been.
Like, see
And
the
I
whole
think he got a
piece,
bit
you know
of
how,
flack,
like, you know how, like, doing the predictions and figuring out what's coming up next and
Aye.
reading the market and that type of thing. So the guys that taught me thought they explained that you needed a world view.
Yeah.
Right. So you needed to know what was going on in the world. And the very, very top level of what you're trying to work out, there's things that you need to watch, which is like geopolitics. So situations between countries.
Yep.
What's the situation? You know, an easy example would be like, Ukraine and Russia. What does that mean for like the world? What does that mean for
business
and so on? You work your way down, right? So generally you can get a feel for, well, if someone was to do this is a likely reaction.
Yeah.
So you can have, like, for instance, if you have the war in Ukraine and you shut off the supply of gas, the price increase would show up in other gas prices.
Aye.
Because you need to get the gas from somewhere else.
Absolutely.
You've cut off an element of the supply. So now the demand's still the same, but the supply's dropped, the price needs to go up, right? So you have all these sorts of, well, if it's this is likely to happen.
Yep.
Thing with Elon Musk is that there's things that he does that should warrant a particular reaction that don't warrant the reaction. So there's something going on there. Like, for instance, he's got like the bulk of the Twitter files. So the Twitter files, he's got the entire archive of everything that happened.
Of that.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to, but then I fucking forget about it.
Like, so the Twitter files is like the collusion with the government.
It's just exposing all the dirty shit they did, for sure.
He's got the filing cabinet with all the dirty secrets, right? And he's like, well, I've bought the company, and there's a lot of people that think he's a plant, so he's just like controlled opposition.
Yeah.
But he's got the folder, and then he's got like the interview where he done with the BBC interviewer, and he's like, well, stop you there. Some of the conspiracy theories that you say are actually true. And so there's all these little things that Elon does.
Yeah.
Like, thing with Russell Brand where he's like, somebody's went after him. Like, he makes these moves that would warrant a reaction. Like, that his action would have an opposite reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
And these things happen to other players. Like, so for instance, Russell Brand called out Big Pharma, Big Tech, governments. Look what's happening to him. Andrew Tate called it the governments, called it the banking system. Look what happened to him.
And he's doing it, but nothing's happening.
You've got like all these guys, Dan Wooten, and all these people that this happens to. Elon playing the same game, doing the same things.
None happens.
Birds tweeting, chirping, nothing. And you go,
how?
What do you know?
That's it. Aye.
What have you got?
Aye, what have you got?
Like, what is it? Why are you the broken arrow? The broken arrow is somebody that can never be fired. Why are you on the world stage? Somebody they don't mess with.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, interesting.
Genius. We've got geniuses, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Elon's a clearly brilliant guy. What is it that he's got, or there's something
that gives him power over?
And if he's an alien,
it's not necessarily power, but a get out of jail free card.
He's getting to play the game, and the rules don't apply to him.
Aye.
Is he like? I mean, there's been loads and loads of instances where people have known stuff, and they've still had the thing happen to them. Loads and loads of instances in the history. So everybody, it catches up with everybody. It doesn't matter. Like, for instance, Julian Assange, look, he's in Belmarsh, extradition orders to the US. He's got like a treasure trove of information. They've assassinated his character. They've had an assassination attempt on him. He's locked up in prison, and essentially, like,
he's not getting it.
Yep, Guantanamo Bay, Martin Luther King, JFK, and all the instances, like, you see years later that there's been trails of, hey, look, they knew something, and that didn't save them.
Aye.
Elon,
no dramas.
What's going on with you? Like, he's sitting there with his Candid decaffeinated like Diet Coke and his Beretta sitting on his bedside cabinet down in like Texas.
Look at a fuck.
Easy Sunday morning, just repopulating the planet. He's impregnated half of Houston. All these.
He's got 10 bairns on the way or some shit with surrogates in that.
I was just like, and he he has a disproportionately large amount of reasonably complex information about many, many things.
Yeah.
It's like, Elon, what? How?
I love the fact he has the ability to make any ridiculous idea real. He can come up with some dumb shit. Like, it'd be cool if trees could float. And he's like, sound. And then away he goes. And 6 months later, with his team, they'll be floating trees. Because he has the backing and the fucking funding and the setup to just do any dumb shit he wants.
And there's easy things. So
because his tunnel's happening.
The boring tunnels, yeah. So he's boring the...
Is that actually becoming like the underground express for Teslas only?
Yeah, the last time I checked, there was like the equipment, machinery, and...
Because that itself, I'm going to build underground motorways for Tesla drivers. Go.
Yeah.
Sound. Okay.
These are the things where you go...
Kenny was making that rapid thing. I didn't care if it was from New York to LA.
Well, I'm sure there was 3 routes, which was like a hyperloop that went California out to Las Vegas and then round back.
But it was like a super fast train thing. Yeah. Because it was because he was having problems stopping it because the tire compound kept collapsing, and it was some kind of Glasgow uni that solved the problem. Another invention for the fucking Scots.
Yeah.
Tick. So that'll be fucking interesting, like. But again, like let's do a super fast fucking hyperloop underground in America under fucking 50 states. Go. Okay, let's do it.
But these are the things like with Elon where you say, man, there's like the systems created that the people that control the game have the ability to, if you're not playing with the toys the way they like, they can take it off you.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And that's not controversial. There's many, many cases that...
Oh no, it's just a fact.
If Elon,
it's just a thing.
If Elon was disrupting the game to a point,
they'd take his toys off him.
They would take his toys off him.
Right.
Money, companies, and wrap him up and
make up some bullshit.
Assassinate the character. Something's ended up in your computer. We found such and such. With deep fake videos, AI. They would just smear him.
They just take him, fucking brand him.
Nothing.
They'd just be another one in the long line of people that would just die.
We've got 10 lassies that said X about you, and that's you.
Shut your puss, get away.
Russell Brand, same thing. Stuff from surfacing from 06, 07, and now it's just paraded out like this was all known, and now when it suits you, you want to like pull the skeletons out of the closet.
Just to shut him up.
Elon's just doing his thing. Doing his thing, 200 billion in the bank. Like, yeah,
is that what he's at now? Up at that?
Well, the last time I looked, he was 200 and something.
That's mega.
200 and like, yeah, I'm sure he chucked up the Twitter purchase.
Well, I don't know what happened with that because obviously he went in with that with the Binance guy, and the Binance guy got himself in trouble. So I don't know what would have happened with that. He'd obviously had to buy a motor or something.
And these are the things these are the things where you go, how?
Aye, what's your game? Something's
not like, has he got like higher power? Is he an alien? Has he got some deep energetic knowledge that he's got the sort of, hey, you can't touch this guy.
Aye.
Who knows? But there's enough there that you're like, the normal rules are not applying here.
Something's going on,
And then he gets asked a question. He looks like he's downloading something from some, I
think at any
cloud.
point, it looks like his head's in a million different places. At no point does he look like he's paying attention. He's in the room, but he's not in the room. He's in 10 different rooms at the same time. I think he's quite a fascinating cunt to watch. Like,
he's got unusual mannerisms as well. Like, he's got these sorts of almost childlike in terms of like he doesn't see things in a. You ask him a question, it's like a child considering the question. He's like,
aye.
And then he comes out with this hugely complex topic and breaks it down. You're like, yeah, there's nothing childish going on there.
This is it. Very intelligent man. Like,
what about anybody else?
Well, obviously, when Tate wasn't off everything, Tate's always a good controversial conversation, and you get both sides of the coin with him. Ken, guys love him, women fucking hate him, vice versa.
What do you mean? You thought Tate was an alien?
Oh, you're talking about alien? No, I thought you meant just controversial people that come up in conversations. As far as aliens go, fuck knows. Like, no, I've not really stood back and thought, that could be an alien, that guy might not be an alien, so on and so forward. I want to know where some of the conspiracy theories come from.
Like, what ones?
Like that Angela Merkel and Barack Obama are cousins and are Hitler's grandchildren. That was a fucking wild one that came out, like. Apparently someone has done the blood work and they are apparently DNA based, they are related, they are cousins. And then it went on this big downward hang about Argentina. That's where his gran or his mum was from originally. There's apparently a picture of his ma or gran with Hitler and all this other shit. And you think, And then there's the guy was going on about, did the Nazis lose or did they just go underground? And now you've got two of his grandchildren running two of the largest countries in the fucking world and blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, where does this shit come from? Who starts this?
And where does it start? Like, so you're heading home for your work, your shift, your business, whatever you're doing.
Aye.
Traffic hits. The radio's garbage. You forgot your password to your SoundCloud. So you're in the car and your mind's wandering. Boom, the epiphany hits.
And you just think,
Merkel, the German the former German chancellor,
is related
Merkel,
to Barack
who
Obama.
looks like she is a older, munchkin-looking white woman, and she is cousins with the first African-American black prime minister.
I'll see if I can find it and send it. Yeah, it was fucking funny. But the guy's convinced the blood work.
Where's he getting the blood from?
Fuck knows, mate. Don't know. Don't know if he's fucking breaking in their houses.
Can you phone up like Ancestry, .com or 23andMe and be like, oh, have you got just looking for the blood results for Merkel? I believe that. I believe she sent something.
Going on that, actually, did you see that fucking apparently on Ancestry.com, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates died in 2013? Allegedly, according to Ancestry.com. I don't know how of a world body of information they fucking are classed as, but they've got it as they died.
So are they holograms now?
Fuck knows. Partly now cunts are like, oh, they've been replaced, they're clones and all this shit. And I'm just like, where does this come from? Who has thought, I'm going to look Bill Gates up on Ancestry.com? Oh, he's died. How's that? This is the thing. I don't understand where some of these stories come from.
Right.
There are people living in the world, and we used to have trade between the inners and the outers, and the Catholic Church controlled all the routes, and apparently there's paperwork, and like, where are you getting this from, pal? Where, how? Where did it start? Ken, what, you've been in a church and opened a bit, and it's been like orders from the inner earthers. Like, come on, where does this shit come from?
What's the inner earther? What's that?
I don't know. Well,
they live in like
apparently, like we're like the outer crusters, if you like. We're like the cunts that live on the surface, and there's people that live, kind of like how in the Matrix they were living inside the planet near the core because it was still war. That type of shite. Apparently, there are people that live inside the planet, and we're on the outer, and we had open trade between, but the Catholic Church took control and all that shite, and it was fucking long-winded. Like
the Catholic Church is always a good one to rope into it, isn't it?
But if he's got paper, cool. You're telling the story, mate. Show us the paperwork. That's where I would lead with that. Right. If I had some actual hardcore concrete evidence, let's start with that. Then tell the story. Mm-hmm. Don't tell the story. Say you've got paperwork, and then don't show it. Like, why? What was the point in your fucking story?
What's the paperwork? Like,
fuck knows. Then again, the guy just says he has evidence, but then doesn't fucking tell you.
How can you question the validity of like? I went down to Roslyn Chapel and I was behind the pew, and underneath the leg was a dead box drop, and I lifted up the lid, and I found, whoa!
I love a rabbit hole as much as the next cunt, but I really didn't understand where some of it even begins to be a thing.
The worrying thing is like, see, you ever had ones where you get told something like this years ago, and then eventually it comes out, and you're like, man, I remember thinking that was outrageous.
There will be things. I can't think anything off the top of my head now. But there 100% will be things that you think silly, and then it will become to light. But I don't ever think I'm going to see inner earthers being like, they fucking stopped us for hundreds of years. Oh, it was horrible.
What do you think they look like, inner earthers?
Probably us, but very pale.
I reckon that's.
Lack of
I
sunlight.
reckon they're probably like pale Scottish ginger people. They're probably the
That's where
descendants.
the mutation
Like
came
that's
from.
the. I've not been like I am not. I have not evolved to be in the sun. You know, and that sort of thing.
That's why they have that mutated gene where they just die. They can't cope well above ground.
You know, sort of. You remember Blade, the movie?
Yeah.
It's like he was a daywalker. With the really pale ginger as the daywalker. All the other inner earthers like, nah, bro, we don't go in that.
That's it. We didn't go up there.
I reckon that would be that if you're looking for signs,
Aye.
that's probably a good sign.
Because you could just make any shit up though, any shit up.
Well, I've been doing a lot of research into like occulted knowledge, like hidden knowledge.
How do you mean occulted knowledge?
Occulted. So you get exoteric knowledge, which is well known to many, and esoteric is known to a few. And the esoteric knowledge usually has some component of it where there's some secrets that they don't want the masses to know.
Aye.
For a variety of different reasons, and generally it's around enlightenment. So you need to make the cut before you're ready to hear this sort of information.
Okay.
And that's usually the basis of the esoteric knowledge.
And where do you find that?
And
because that's not on Google. Surely.
No, you need to look for the information. It's a bit like there's seeds dotted around the place, and you need to go on a
Hansel and Gretel mission and fucking pick up the breadcrumbs.
You need to go looking for the breadcrumbs. And a lot of it leads back to like spiritualism and a lot of the history. So you find a lot of history when you find sort of things that don't add up.
Yeah.
Like, the pyramids. There's no anybody that's done any sort of construction work or built anything.
It's impressive.
And what you're saying is, I seen a picture from the inside of one of the, from one of the pyramids, and the inside the room is one solid block, and it's perfectly at a 90-degree angle with another solid block.
Yep.
And these blocks must be in order of, I would estimate, 50 to 60 tons each. And you could not fit a cigarette paper in between the crack.
Like they're perfectly fucking cut.
Precision.
Yep.
Now they're huge and they're precisely cut, and they've been there for thousands and thousands of years. And here's the thing that really got me, Mikey, right? And you'll get this.
Oh, no.
The side and the face of the stone, which are at a right angle to each other, the ripple through the stone went from one side and across the other. Imagine taking a grainy wood and matching up the grainy wood. And
all right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Aye. So it went across the two blocks perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were at right angles to each other. And I'm like, no way. They completely lined up. Like, imagine you drew it on the wall.
Aye.
I was like, wow.
Because you get folk as well that there's loads of what they're only describing as circular saw markings on some of the blocks. If we cut a block now with a circular saw, the pattern of cutting is almost identical on a lot of these blocks.
Yep.
But allegedly we didn't have that technology back then.
Like some of the monoliths and things like that, there's monoliths that are in the region of 1,700 tons.
Yeah.
And you go, How?
Yeah.
And so like the occulted knowledge is known to a few and hidden. So it's hidden knowledge.
Yeah.
And esoteric means it's known to few, and they need to be enlightened. So you've got hidden knowledge to a few, and that's what secret societies and all that had. And the idea behind it is that there's much more going on
than what meets the eye,
than what we know.
For sure, 100% though, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because you get it's when you start connecting the dots. You look at the pyramids and you look at this, how they've positioned the pyramid to the stars,
absolutely.
The astronomy, and then they've done it with such precision.
The corners are like true north and south or some shit like that. Not compass north and south, true north and south.
And the accuracies within one.
Oh mate, we can't do that
1/20th
today
of a
with
degree.
fucking lasers.
It's built in such like, you're telling me slaves built this with chicken bones and basic
Chipping
tools?
it away with fucking no danger.
Never.
I was looking at one, and there was a chamber they found. I think it was one of the most recent ones, and I think the roof is lined, and I think it's like 7 or 8 meters up, 10 meters up, and they're these massive long blocks of solid granite.
Yeah.
And they're saying they weighed about 70 tons a piece. How the fuck did they get them up there? Because the technology, they could have made a crane out of wood and rope. No danger.
No
and
chance.
they're going to hoist it. No danger. Impossible. And there was a guy who had a theory. I don't know if you've came across the frequency engines.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool. And the boy was kind of showing whether the rock was real. I don't fucking know in this video because, again, shit can be manipulated. But the cunt played a frequency down a didgeridoo and could lift this fucking rock that was clearly heavy and then put it down again.
There's a story
with
about
this fucking sound.
There's a story about this is what they think it's hidden knowledge, and they believe that everything, when you get to the cosmic level, everything is vibration. So everything's got a frequency.
Everything has a
frequency.
Absolutely, it does.
And if you want to, we can levitate things now.
Yeah,
and
with frequency.
We're using high energy to create a vibration to levitate an item. So the bullet train in Japan's an example. They use superconductors.
Yeah, it's a magnet setup. I can't remember what they're called, but they fight against each other, and the train basically flies.
That's right.
Because they're talking about doing that to houses in Japan for earthquake reasons.
Yeah.
So that the houses are floating. So when it shakes, the house doesn't go too far because of the fucking laws of attraction or whatever with the magnets. Fucking clever though.
Yeah. And you look at the way that even stone is vibrating.
Yeah.
So if you can interact with that, if you can get the right frequency,
if you can manipulate it,
you can then interact with that you can create resonance. So that's the whole thing with you seen the tuning fork test? They take the tuning fork and they hit the tuning fork, and it's at 432 hertz. So they'll hit the tuning fork, and there'll be another tuning fork next to it that's at tuned to a different frequency. They'll bang the tuning fork, and this one doesn't move.
Is that two-prong hang?
Yeah. And they'll take another tuning fork where it's tuned to the same frequency, and they'll hit the tuning fork, and the next one will vibrate next to it because it's on the same frequency. That's where the expression, when you're on somebody's wavelength, you're resonating at the same level.
Frequency.
Well, there was a story about a German Western doctor from Western medicine that was sent to Tibet to heal one of the I don't know what the nomenclature for their grand master or whatever the Tibetan name is, but the top guy essentially needed some medical help. Doctor went out and did this, and he recounts the story of these guys playing instruments and levitating a rock, huge rock.
Essentially what that boy did I seen on the fucking video.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And he says that they know it. They've got the knowledge that's been lost.
Well,
that's
apparently
now known to a few.
Yeah, well, I was reading something, and they found, probably loosely explained as a diagram, and it looks like a nuclear reactor, but it isn't a nuclear reactor. And this is where the whole frequency thing was coming in. And apparently a couple of car companies are pumping a bit of money into it as if this could be the next engine to power a car or so. They said it almost looks identical to a reactor, but it isn't a reactor, like a nuclear reactor. So I don't know how that would work with the frequencies. I don't know. It kind of got a bit sciencey, and I got lost with it. But it was fucking interesting. It was cool. Aye.
The car thing, I mean, there's been loads of instances of people coming up with inventions for like free energy cars that can run on
I know a good thing
hydrogen
about
and
this.
water, and they end up getting disappeared or bought off or...
Well, that guy went to that dinner in America with his fucking water car and fucking got poisoned in the car park. Time.
I was heading down to Manchester for a trading event, and do you know when somebody loses a rag? I've said to you about,
I know it very well.
Ricardo is well known as possibly the world's angriest man. He's in a perpetual state of raging.
Has he appeared again yet?
He's back. He's resurfaced. He's
cool.
fucking appeared for the cave that he entered into. So I remember I was heading down to an event, and Ricardo's phone doesn't have any commas or full stops. He writes a line, send, then writes another line and send, and it's even to the point where it starts to and now you know like that. You've got an instant. It's like, I will let this run its course. 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's on a rant. But the rant doesn't have any punctuation. It's just boom, 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 boom.
I've got a few.
And I remember I was on the train, so I like going down the train so I can work.
Yeah.
Great setup. The signal on the trains is murder. So the Wi-Fi is mince.
Aye,
like the Wi-Fi is probably a hamster on a wheel generating an eighth of a fucking megabyte an hour. Right, it's woeful.
400 people,
and the majority of the power that it's generating is to give you the 3 triangular symbol that shows that you've got Wi-Fi, which is a complete illusion because there's no fucking Wi-Fi, right, worth talking about. And so you go in and out of tunnels. Now we're going through this bit, and it's notoriously bad for signal.
Aye.
Well, I came through here, and it obviously is lined up really well with a serious event in Ricardo's life, and he's went fucking nuclear on the messages, and the first person that he thought to seek counsel from has clearly been me, and it must have been a bit of concern because Ricardo, after a wee while, he wants his space if he wants to be left alone, but that's not reciprocal. If he needs you, you must answer. And if you don't answer, it will entail really cranking up the communication effort to the point where it starts almost like the message Morse code, the hypersonic in phones. It's a phone, like it's a you get somebody. They're a texter. They send a text, and you other people that are phoners.
Aye,
they phone the pet type. They go, you could have just sent a message. No, I need to phone. You get them.
I'm a phoner.
Right. Well, Ricardo is a weird combination because he likes to take a run at it with a message and then phone.
Aye.
And phone. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is he? I'm thinking, something's went down.
Happened.
Something significant. There must have been a terror attack or some
house is burnt down,
heinous event that requires this level of communication efforts. I've came out and it's just the phone. I can feel the phone starting to heat up with and I'm starting to make my way through the messages and he phones and I'm like, hello. He's like, did you get my message? I'm like, well, one. And he's like, I've sent you messages and I'm saying, well, I'm going through. I've just got them coming through the now. It explains on the train signal. You'll never guess what. I'm like, what? And he's like, do you not read the messages? I'm like, I never got to the bottom of the messages before you phoned. And now he's really cranked up. And he goes on. He's like, where are you? And I was like, heading down to Manchester. And he's like, I am heading down. I'm like, what's happened? So anyway, some jobs were sent out a bill for £1 million worth of water that Ricardo's not used in his business, and he's just went right to the rev limiter of
very fucking right though.
I'm raging to extreme raginess. You ever see Inside Out with the angry? That's the characters just.
I've never seen that movie.
Right, so it's about the characters that live inside your head. What?
I'm surprised you have.
Oh, because I'm proper kids. I love it. A good movie, especially Mr. Angry, because there's your moods are played by characters inside the head.
They're inside because that Sheldon boy plays a voice in one of them or some shit. Does he know?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I think I know what you're on about. It's
So
like
the-
Mr. Men, but not. And it's like
Aye.
they live inside your fucking brain or some shit.
Yep. So
I think I
it's
know
a
what you're on
story about a girl, and she's living her life, and then what happens is her memories are being stored of her childhood.
Okay.
So the story's happening outside, and then there's these characters that are living on the inside their head that have these the emotions.
Okay.
So you've got like sadness, who's blue. You've got joy, who's yellow.
Okay.
And all these
Yeah,
characters. And
yeah,
one
yeah.
of them's anger, and anger's like a really short, stout guy in a shirt who is like flame red
Red hot.
and then just when he's raging, just his top of his head just morphs into a flame, and I'm like, that's Ricardo. Like he's already in a state of anger, and then at any point can spontaneously combust into full fury. And this is what happened. And he's like, I'm heading down to I phoned them and they're not giving me the right answer. I'm jumping in my car. I'm heading to Manchester.
Was that where the head office is like?
I was in Manchester.
Aye,
And I'm like,
I'm on board with that. Like,
I'm like, right, proportionally, the right action to take here, this is probably
The worst
orders
one.
of magnitude way over what you need to do. And he's like, nah. And it was as simple as I phoned somebody, I don't like their attitude. I'm going to go down to the office, and if they think they can speak to me like a dick, right, wait till and this is what he's like, if they think they're fucking talking to me like that, then I'm a fanny. Wait till I get in there, and he's giving it. I'm coming to their door.
I'm on board with that. Like,
That was him.
Aye.
He was right in,
Aye.
and he was, and I had to talk him down. And you can imagine how cranked up he is if you can judge by the text messages. I'm like, I've not even got to the even a quarter of the way down,
and I know where you're at.
and he's already phoning like, I'm not. Hey, you're not responding quickly enough.
I'm on the ledge here.
And I'm sure, like as he was phoning, the signal's dropping out, and I'm like, what did you say? And it's just cranking him up and up and up and up. And I think, man, and it's these characters that you get. You think it's these jobs worse don't know that there's people like you and Ricardo in the world that this is like trying to put fire out with petrol. You really, there's like a way of doing things. There's a way that you really
in
want
that
to avoid.
moment, I'll come through your fucking living room window. In that moment, you know what I mean? Like, no issues.
Yeah.
I'll chop you up. Fucking like, there's no need for it though. Like, he knew what I was talking about. It could have been sound. He could have been all right. Sound, aye. It's the wee one, the wee flippy one. Sound.
What
I've got two models.
I find quite amusing is that I seem to know quite a few extremly violent, high-tempered people, and I don't know why, but they come to me to calm them down. I'm like, what do you want me to do? And it's not, but you'll know, like you'll know, like the then you get to like there's like a diplomat somewhere that's just like, if anybody can fix this, they're the guy. Nobody else, just them. And they don't trust anybody else. Like everybody else's counsel could be compromised. Like anybody's advice, they could be another side, but you're
the one.
I need. So I seem to have this knack of having to like talk down the DEFCON 1. Some poor office site in Manchester was nearly getting trashed as one of the angriest human beings had went through the door like the Tasmanian devil and just whirlwinded looking for Josh, who spoke to him like a fanny at 13:01.
Oh, I fell out with the CSA a few times over the years too. Tell one of the women I'm going to come and seal the building up and fill it with water. You're all going to.
Can you swim?
You're all done. Going to seal the building up and fill it with water. These are all fucked.
Oh, but I mean, there's just organisations that lend themselves to that type of thing, isn't there?
There's ways to do things, Do you know what I mean? And you can tell when some cunt is getting a bit fucking irate. Right, this cunt's about to lose his shit. There's two roads I can take here. I can go down that road and push the red button, or I can go down the red button and maybe try and help the cunt. But they don't. And they bring it on them fucking selves. And it does irate. And the worst part about it is because you're at that point when you're fucking seething, you know you can't do anything. And there's nothing worse. You just say, I've got this cunt talking at the end of the phone like I'm a fucking fanny. And can you ken yourself, like half the time, I'm a big guy. You wouldn't talk to me like that if we were face to face. But because you think you're fucking safe, because you're in wherever the fuck you are, and it's just, honestly, it angers the utter life out of me. And I'm a nice guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and some people just push you to a point where you don't normally visit very often, but when you're there, it's fucking, oh my God. And then there becomes a point where you're just like, I might have took that too far.
And I'm quite mischievous, Mikey, because like I've got remember Loki, the god of mischief.
Oh, I just poked the bear a wee bit.
He is a eternal tenant in my soul.
Oh, he's mint.
And like I now understand the levers of guys like you who can get cranked up. And I'm there winding up the toy at the back. You know the wind up toy. You turn it at the back, and and I know where the hey, this is the line that you can fill it up to here.
Aye.
Any more than that,
It's gone.
All gone. And I'll just tip it, crank it right up. And they'll tell you something, and you just know you're leveling it up. I'm looking for the line. Like, we'll just leave it here. This is good.
That's it.
No, quite well. Right, I'll leave you here for a wee while.
Wind
And then
up the money and let him bounce.
I will bring it down. And you just know that they're on the limit, that the slightest, like if the wind changed direction, they're going to go off the rocker.
My business account's food. See if you fuck with my food.
Food?
Food. Do not fuck with my food.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what would be an example of it?
So, in Dunfermline, Charlie went and got me lunch for Subway. And I was like, just get me a wrap sound. And it came back, and this little fucking penis had... The only way I can describe this wrap, so you know what a wrap is? It's fucking wrapped like a wrap. It's a universal fucking form of food. This fucker had made this like a parcel as if he was 6 years old and he was about to leave home with all his belongings on a stick. He'd like put the shit in the middle and folded the four corners up and just fucking went like this. So I've opened this wrap and I've just immediately lost my shit. Instantly. And me and Charlie had a wee tiff earlier that day. I'm like, you got him to do this, huh? You fucking... She's like, I went behind the counter. I'm like, I bet you fucking did. And at this point, I'm immediately just being unreasonable, And I'm like...
how unreasonable?
I wanted the boy fired for Subway. And then she refused to go back down to Subway and make this guy lose his job. And then I lost my shit with her even more. I was just like, what?
Because she's now you're part of the problem. You're allowing this.
Mate, it was just... That's actually not too bad of a one, to be fair. Like, they're not many incidences in a timeline where I get to 100. But some days, Ken, you're idling at 80 to begin with anyway. Things just aren't going wrong, and then something happens that tips you over the edge. Probably the worst one ever in my entire life going with food was I had a cunt of a week, horrible week, working late, things just weren't going wrong. I double booked a couple of clients. It had been a shite week. It was Friday, working late again. I managed to get home just to get an order in to the fucking takeaways just before it shut. I'm like, food's ordered, sat down, opened the beer, everything was perfect. Knock on the door, delivery guy here, fucking buzzing, getting my dinner. Yes. Opened it, 6 rice and a curry I've ordered. Lost my shit. Goes to phone them, closed. Picked up the takeaway, fucked it off the living room wall, kicked the dishwasher door off. Fucking lost my shit. And there's not many times in the world where Charlie will not be like, calm down. She's like, I was just like, sound. I'll just stand over here and let him just run this. Went on Facebook, left a fucking review, which probably wasn't the best time to write a review. The choice of wording was quite fucking severe. And they replied to me in the morning and they're like, oh, apologies and that, come back, we'll give you a free meal. I'm like, after what I just said to you, I'm never coming there again. I'll have the special sauce, the fucking everything in my fucking
tea bag in your curry.
I couldn't believe it, lad. And then the aftermath, I had to repaint the wall. I had to take all the skirting boards off because there was curry and rice down the back. Like, the house was fucked. And
stinking.
Just in that moment, I'm like, who orders 6 rice
six
and a
rice?
fucking curry?
One curry and 6 rice?
Aye. What they thought, like, we'll spread it about, guys. We'll have the driest curry known to man. You're each getting a bit of chicken.
What are they using the fucking curry for? To just colour the rice.
Fuck
You're not going to get any flavour.
I don't know what. I'm just like, I don't understand how you take an order and then and like, even if someone had ordered 6 rice and a curry, you would question it because it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, you just didn't do that. And so that was expensive. New wallpaper, skirting boards, a dishwasher, and I lost the takeaway because I wasn't going back.
Aye. They probably sorted you out.
Don't care.
Done. The
relationship was severed at that point.
Was it? The bridge was burned.
The bridge was toast. The fucking,
you petulant child.
Oh, mate.
That bad then with the food?
I don't know why it bothers me so much. I mean, some kind of made me fried eggs once. I think it might have been my mom when I was a teenager, and she put grated cheese on the fried eggs on toast. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I didn't understand it. And I just opened the back door and frisbeed the frisbeed out the back door and just lost my shit. Where I'm like, why on earth would you do? I don't know. I don't know why. I like my food and see when folk fuck with it. I don't have the patience to.
What do you like if you're out in a restaurant?
Well, they don't fuck your food in a restaurant. Like,
never had any issues.
Never.
No.
Never. Charlie has, but she's quite tactful with it. She'll just be like, "This is wrong. It isn't what I ordered, so I won't be paying for this. Take off my bill." And they'll be like, "Hi, sound, no dramas. Would you like me to replace it?" No, it's fine because I need to be so. She's quite level-headed with it. Whereas I don't think I have the capacity to, because it annoys me that much. Because it's for me, like, I am very, very patient, but see very simple things that should not go wrong, I can't stick. I don't have the temperament for.
Can't get there.
Well, it shouldn't go wrong. So when it does go wrong, I don't know. I just can't deal with it. It just riles me up to the point where I just become unreasonable and fucking petty and childish and Ken, like, you ever been at a level of like irritated when you know you're being bang out order, but you cannot help it. You can't
like
stop
then our voice is going, you're
out of order here, Mikey. And I'm like, I don't care.
But the chimp's in charge.
It's
the
gone.
chimp part of the brain's like,
it's took over.
There's no logic that's been applied.
It's away.
Time for logic was gone. The big boy's in charge. I'm at the controls, and this will run its course. Do not try and come to me with logic until I'm done.
Let this run its course, and all will be well.
I feel like a volcano when it happens. It's like, right, there was a time to evacuate, and you've hung around. This is blue. It's erupted, and this lava is going to come out.
Aye.
There's no stopping it.
It's happening. Run.
That's it. You can either stay here and be hit with it, or you can get out of the way. Right? That's your choice. Don't try and say, "Can you put the lava back in the volcano?" That's not how it works. This is nature, and this is a volcano.
She thinks
and
it's funny because like things that should piss me off don't. Mm-hmm. So in serious situations, I'm great because it doesn't faze me. I can be quite calm. I can be very clear-headed and logical. It's the silly things that I just cannot stick it because it shouldn't happen. It should not go wrong. Ken, technology, when it decides it's not working, I have bought you for that purpose. If you cannot complete that task, you now will not serve that purpose, and I'm going to recycle you in a harsh manner.
And you cast your mind back to that, the junkie getting the methadone with a robotic AI device. You can't fucking send a message. You can't send an email.
That's it. Right? You won't print this piece of paper that I have just sent to you. You can. There's nothing in the way. I'm at the printer. My iPad's on top. You've got 3 mil of fucking data to send, and you can't do it. Boom.
Yeah.
My printer's quite good though, because all I do is threaten to get a new printer, and it seems to work. I think I can listen.
Is that a strategy? Is it?
Yeah, it seems to fucking work. Yeah. Anytime I'm like, I'm getting a new fucking printer.
I wonder if you open up like Epson troubleshooting, and they've got in the back of it, you know, if there's
threaten your printer
prior to phoning customer services, if you can repeat
this code,
just say,
I am going to Curry's this afternoon.
We are about to go in the vehicle and purchase a new printer. If it doesn't work, then please contact.
Honestly, every time I'm like, right, I start getting a new printer, and I work perfect for about 6 weeks.
Crazy.
It's on borrowed time though.
Is it?
Oh, aye.
What do you use the printer for?
All my designs, all my stuff. I need to print it all out. So,
is it a special printer, or is it just special paper?
It's not special. It's just a big one that can handle a lot of traffic and that holds a lot of paper and shit. It's not anything special. It's just a standard printer. And I need this. I don't know why, but you need a particular type of ink in order from a stencil machine to read it and print the stencil out. Folks say I've never had an issue. It doesn't seem to matter what ink I use. It still works. But so it's not anything too fancy or that. But if I get there, I'm ready, design's ready, client's here, I'm set up. All I need is a printer to do its job. And see, when it doesn't, it fucks your day.
Yep.
Like it is a 0 to 100 fucking situation. Because if it doesn't...
Are they expensive?
Well, yes and no. Like, depends what you class as expensive. They're only like, you could buy a good one for a couple of £100.
Are they hard to set up?
No, it's all plug and play shit. Now you plug it in and...
I'll just get a backup one.
Well, I did have one, but that broke.
And play it off the other one. Say, look, if you don't...
He's getting plugged in.
If you don't buck your idea up, he's going to the top spot.
You're going to get fucking demoted.
You want to play the games? Two can play the games.
I used to have a fucking travel one, but I fell out with that and I got fucking... I think that's somewhere in Italy.
What do you mean a travel one?
Kind of like one that would fit in my box.
Right.
Just in case someone needed to, because if you're at a convention and someone needs to change the size and shit, you've got a station for printing and stencil and stuff, but they're normally rammed. So if I'm traveling quite far and it's and I don't have a client in for the full weekend or whatever, I'll pre-print my shit and take it there. So just so I don't have to faff about with the printing station, stencil station. So if I'm traveling, I'll tend to take a printer and a stencil hanging that with me. But I have to find certain size ones that'll fit in your fucking box and that. So it can be a pain in the tits.
Good.
But technology and food, silliness.
All right, let's go into these questions. Thought of some questions that might be funny to ask.
Christ.
These are. You can see where it take a turn.
So is this questions people have asked?
Yep. You've
not just went on Google and went ridiculous questions.
No, because they ones like there's some in here that are I would say are quite good, and there's some in here that I think are fucking outrageous. Right, and knowing some of the questions that you've put to me, I've got an idea of which ones will appeal to you, and which ones will not. Right, so the idea is that what would you like to know about Mikey? Because people seem to like finding out more about you.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through some questions on finding out a wee bit more about you.
Okay.
Tits or bum?
Oh. Tits.
Did you think about that?
I did, aye. I've never really been approached with that question prior to... I know you do get tit men and bum men and that, but I'd probably say...
Would you like something else apart from tits and bums?
I wouldn't discriminate between the pair, to be fair, like...
Aye.
But if I had to choose, I would probably say tits, maybe.
There you go.
Aye.
Tits. On a bird, tattoos or no tattoos? I think it's a no-brainer.
Tattoos, for sure.
What kind of tattoos do you like?
Well, it depends, because it doesn't so much depend on the type of tattoos a lassie has, it's depend on how they've been executed. Because they could potentially have any type of tattoos. If it's done well, it will complement her. Whether it's a guy or a lassie, if they're fucking shit, they're fucking shit.
And you just get people that suit tattoos, like lassies that suit tattoos?
Well, no, because you get people that, like, they want a sleeve, but they're worried that it'll make them look a certain way, which I don't really get, because
like what tattoos?
It doesn't. Well, aye, but they'll I don't know, Ken, some lassies, I think it'll make them look quite butch, and I guess in a way it could do, but it all comes down to what you choose. If you get me, like if you, I don't know, for argument's sake, if I don't really look at tattoos as masculine or feminine. I just kind of look at it, it is what it is at that point. So I couldn't give you a good example. But some folk like a few lasses like, I'd love a dragon sleeve, but I'd worry it would be too masculine. I'm like, well, it depends how you do the dragon, doesn't it? Yeah. But can you see some of these lasses with full Japanese bodysuits, and it's fucking awesome. It looks tremendous. The only tattoos I don't really like on people is when they've just got a mishmash of tons of shit. They look like they've been vandalized as opposed to they've gotten tattoos. They've just got fucking crap. It's almost like no thought's gone into it. Someone's just fucked a load of stamps at you, and they've hit where they've hit, and that's it.
Landed wherever.
If we had signal in here, I could show you what I mean.
Some shockers.
You just send
them. I'll stick them up on the screen.
Fuck.
Would you prefer doing in the gym? Would you rather do a leg day or a cardio day?
Nobody would rather do a cardio day. Nobody.
I would agree with that. No, not in the gym.
I do cardio in the living room. I've got a techno gym bike.
If you're going to the gym, you should be lifting weights.
Fucking right.
And that's it.
Aye,
fucking oath.
Yeah.
Gyms are for lifting weights.
Gyms are for getting big.
Everything else is just furniture.
Aye, what does that machine do? It's looking awfully dusty.
Crocs or your shocking Jesus sandals?
I feel like that was your question.
It fucking was. It made me think, because when I seen them, I was like...
Are you on about my pure mint Adidas Adilettes?
There's nothing fucking mint about them.
They are
right, for avoidance of fucking doubt, there is nothing. Right, I mean fucking nothing minted about these sandals.
They are fucking tremendous.
Where did you get them for? Like Jesus or Us?
Well, Adidas, because they're Adidas.
I didn't know Adidas and Jesus had a fucking collaboration.
Oh, they're in fucking like this, mate. They're like cross fingers.
Shocking.
Awesome.
The socks he had on
You're just jealous you can't get a pair now, because they're that fucking sought after. They're sold out.
Nobody bought them. They fucking
just discontinued
them. The people that bought them were 2,000 years ago.
I was fucking raging, right? I bought them, and I think they were 50 quid, thereabouts.
You paid 50 quid for them. You've fucking seen you coming.
Mate.
They fucking seen you coming.
They're comfy as shit, and they're fucking gangster. Fact.
Pish.
Fact.
Show me a gangster that fucking wears them. That's alive.
The fucking and I went to get another pair because they came in 3 colours.
you fucking shitting me.
Hey, they're mint. They're mint. You haven't lived. You're still stuck in the world of Nike and fucking. You need to explore. And you would have done if the Crocs had came the night.
One in your fucking running about in your pair of fucking Jesus sandals is not living life.
They're cool, mate.
Like if you like turn to Jesus and we're like, oh look, I've taken a bit of like a venture into the religious realm, and I'm feeling that I'm more closer to the Son of God. I could get on board, but you were standing in your kitchen munching a bag of crisps, claiming that you weren't munching the crisps while getting the crumbs or your Jesus sandals with socks that looked that they were out the lost and found bin.
Fuck off! They were brand new fucking Adidas. Like this shit I've got on. They were fucking fresh out the pack.
For fucking what, homeless guy?
Mate, no, because I would never wear
a styrofoam cup.
Nah, mate. I would never wear worn Adidas in them because the black and the black have to match.
Mate, they look like Jack and Victor socks. Pish. I'll need to check back. Maybe I'm being unduly harsh.
You are.
But
it was a full Adidas setup down there.
I can't believe that.
Mate, that day.
I can't believe you're saying that your defence here is style, that I had got it dialed in with these sandals. I cannot believe that I'm hearing this.
I am the comfiest man in the world. It's like my feet were getting blowjobs. They were that comfy.
Pish.
Great, mate.
Right, so what won? Them or the Crocs?
Them, to be fair.
Really?
Mate, yeah, they're fucking, they are comfy as shit. But I'm 12 years in, lad. Who do I need to impress? I need to be. I'm
really fucking no cunt. I hope you're not planning to impress anybody. They might impress somebody, but the numbers will be so few. I don't know if you'll find them in the world.
Mate.
Elon might be able to find them, but you fucking no hope.
Mate.
The people that they would impress
confident man
is past the 60th parallel.
The confident man that can win in sandals like that, he's king.
You better hope everybody's looking at your height, no down at your feet. They are shockers.
Mate, a guy came in yesterday to the studio with a pair of Crocs on, and he thanked me. He's like, yes, mate, you're right. Fact. Trendsetter. I was his inspiration for trying a pair of Crocs, and he hasn't looked back.
I can't even fucking believe it. I'm not there yet.
You would have been. You would have been.
We'll see next time, when these Crocs materialise. Maybe I can be a bit. I'm telling you, the step to get me into Crocs is a significant step. The step to get me to wear a pair of black Mariah Jesus sandal, like
Who the fuck is Mariah?
whatever they call they things.
Adidas.
Mate, somebody sewed them on.
It's like a Stone Island badge. You just
Aye.
put on the cunt on the side.
Somebody's like, so the guy in the shop's
They're
like,
mint.
see if he put an Adidas badge on these, I bet somebody buys them. Somebody goes, bet they don't. And they've had this bet on going, you show up and the guy's hit you with the patter.
I was fucking raging, mate. Could not get another pair. They're now fucking nearly 300 quid and they're sold
They are
out
300
everywhere.
quid.
Mate, they're kind of like you get the minging shoes like Yeezys and that. They're selling for 800 quid a pair because cunts, they just, for whatever reason, that shoe goes like that.
Yeah.
They fucking sandals have done the same, chap. I cannot get them anywhere on the fucking planet for less than a completely piss take price that I'm no willing to pay.
Humans are supposed to be intelligent. That clearly shows some of them are fucking far behind the curve.
Intelligent and comfy.
Wow. Right. Wee dogs or big dogs?
Nay dogs.
Nay dogs. How?
If I had to choose, I would pick big. Like my dogs, I've always had big dogs. I've got 2 XL bullies now. So, yeah.
They're
Big
good.
dogs.
Nice. Would you rather have 6 fingers or 6 toes?
Wait, what?
Would you rather have 6 fingers on each hand or 6 toes in each foot?
Probably 6 toes, to be fair.
But to go with your fucking knob cheese sandals.
Well, I could get them in my sandals, Ken, because they're open-toed, so
Aye.
that'd be an easy transition
But
for
you
me,
can't
to be
hide them
fair.
because you got your big dodgy extra digit hanging out.
That'd be fine, mate. As long as I can still tattoo.
I
That
would-
extra hang would complicate shit for me,
I think the damage is done with the sandals. I don't think you could have 7 toes if you could have as many toes as you want.
Doesn't matter.
You could have them hanging out like
I just
Richmond
fucking-
sausages.
Just clip them off. Done.
Aye, so 6 toes. Right, here's where it starts to take a turn for the worst. Would you rather drink a gallon of your own piss or a spoonful of your own shite?
Piss. I've drank piss before. Not my own.
What was it like?
It was just tasted like water, lad. It was a weird night at a party after some extracurricular vitamins, and me and another guy decided we were gonna outdo each other. It was over a last piece of pizza, and we're eyeballing each other for this. We're eyeballing each other this piece of pizza, and it was getting serious, and some cunt fucked it in the ashtray, and I'm like, I'd still eat that, and Tim was like, I'd still eat that, and we ended up splitting this ashy pizza and ate it, and then again we're just in a different place staring at each other, Ken, and he's like, I'd drink your piss. I was like, I'd fucking drink your piss. And then it happened. And then it started getting more extreme. And it got to a point where cunts in the party were like, enough. Fucking quit.
They need a ceasefire here.
Aye, basically, aye. And then we got trophies. His said Mikey wins and mine said Tim wins. And that was the end of it.
That cool tensions.
And there was no more competitiveness across the board.
That reduced escalations.
But aye, when...
Did it get to any a spoonful of shite?
No, it didn't.
Well, that could have been the next level.
It didn't. Well, I think the next step after that was you had an hour to try and get as much cum in a shot glass as possible. It was going dark, lad, but it got before that
It's
happened.
probably best for all. I'm sure by the sounds of it, you were in for a penny in for a pound, and he could have went where it needed to go.
This was way back in the day. Like I haven't touched anything for 12 years.
If that's the
Back
sort
in
of
the
evenings that you're having, it's probably a good cause to maybe wind in the extra vitamins there.
We went to places like we did.
I don't know if we'll fucking edit this one out. Would you rather lick your bird's arse
Oh, wow.
or snog her after she's been sick?
I would rather lick her arse. Fact.
That was so quick.
Sick's horrible. Do you know what I mean? Who's getting their fucking mouthing about that? Miss, her arse is
That's what
generally
you just said. I drank piss, ate a pizza, and ashtray. Sick's fucking horrible.
Sick's broke, man. I would have PTSD for that guy in the shop. I wouldn't be able to do that. But aye, her arse is generally reasonably clean.
Oh dear.
Sound.
Would you rather stick your finger up your mate's arse or he stuck a finger up your arse?
There's no winners there, is there? Really.
I had straight away.
It's probably put
Straight away. Had this. It's going straight up his arse. Like, because if there's intent, if it's the other direction. If you're saying, hey mate, you do it to me, you're looking for something more at this situation.
There's true. Aye.
Right away.
Whereas
if
you're the then you're controlling the situation.
If you're the finger you're like
you're in control.
You're higher up. You've taken charge. You've
you.
picked the position.
I like that. I like that.
If you're the fingery,
aye,
you're
the subordinate.
You're letting a wee bit more out about how you like things than you let on.
I like that. So you would have to be the fingerer.
Yeah, you got to be the one giving it.
Aye, yeah.
I don't make rules.
No, you just play the game. Absolutely, mate. I'm there with you.
That's one. I don't know how people see the people that come up with these, right?
Where did these even come from?
I
never seen it.
Put it out to people. We wouldn't want to let it out the bag. And now that we have asked these, I think we can crank it up, because see, once we can get like, what we'll do is I say, right, look, go and check out these. This was the secret starter. Now we've opened up the floor.
I'll answer it. See, when I do the Q&As and some of the ropey questions come, I'll answer anything.
Like, see the one, like I've done the same, but like, I'm like you, I'm with you. See the people that are snide that go, I'm not putting that up. No, you're in.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing. And it's like, don't like see, and it's always there's always somebody seedy. There's always somebody in there.
I live under the table,
filthy.
Lad. That's where I live. My house is under the table. I'm there.
Yeah. Get it in.
No, I'm game for anything.
Have you had any real like outrageous ones that you think of?
Aye. So, what was it? Because we went through the Would You Rathers one day in the studio on the internet, and one of the ones was, would you? Oh no, this is fucking horrendous. I don't even know if I want to say this.
Are we going to push up YouTube's community guidelines with this one?
Aye, pretty much.
We might need to edit it out then. I don't know.
All right, fuck it. Right, so it was, would you rather rape your sister who's of age or sleep with a consenting 10-year-old? That was the question.
That's dark.
Fucking right.
That's dark.
But now you have to answer that because it's been asked.
Aye, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's the sort of question where you go, I don't know if I want to be here anymore.
You're immediately like
see if there's situations like this, it's probably better just checking out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you go like somebody's decided they've had enough and they go up to the bridge.
Aye.
And people go, I don't know how they can do it. They probably ask that question. They'll probably put in that situation like, nah, you know, they're like, it's this or it's that. It's like, I'm out here. I'm out. I'm gone.
Aye. And the other one was, your mum's about to die a really horrendous death.
Mm-hmm.
And you can save her, but you've got to let your dad shag you. Are you saving her? So on the one hand, your mom's going to be killed, but on the second hand, you've got to let your dad shag you.
So you can save your mum, but you need to live your life as an ancestral poof.
Aye.
And
then there was, what was the other one? Fucking, you're in the middle of your grandparents. And to get out of this situation, you've either got to take an inch off your granda or put an inch in your gran. To get, I never made the questions, but it was just like, fuck me. It's an interesting website.
Aye.
So is that worse than
you know when you get like it's this sort of group of people, this substrata of people that you know, like when you see things like the human centipede and these.
Yeah, these people are walking around in society. They're kissing their kids goodnight and fucking living like normal people.
They're in the office beside you, like with the 9 to 5 white picket fence, and inside their head is fucking debauchery. Absolutely. And heinous, like real
fucking broken people, mate.
Head full of broken bottles, and they're playing a blinder that you don't know.
Nope.
You don't know. They like butter wouldn't melt. And inwardly, their search history is on an NSA database.
They're reading a fucking script about how to turn people into a fucking millipede.
They're wondering how many nails you could put into a skull of a human being and they still live. This is the sort of thing. And they're the one doing your IT.
That's that. Would you like another cup of tea? No.
You're on the phone to them complaining about your Samsung Flippy thing, and meanwhile they're thinking, I could unload a pass load nail gun into this guy, but playing there's two scenarios going on. The one that they can publicly do, and the one that's inside their head.
That's it. I've just got myself put on a hit list.
Aye, that's good. Well, I think we're bringing the bar back down to normality, which is really weird when I ask you this one. Would you rather shit on your bird's chest or she shat in yours?
Nah. I mean, I would probably have to shite on her because I really would not want to be shat on. Definitely wouldn't want that. Nope.
Did you not go there?
In the bedroom, I don't think the toilet should be brought into it. Golden shower, shite and that, nah. Nope. Nah, not game.
It's the same thing as these people out there that you go...
There's a guy, there's a fucking... I don't even know whether to bring this up because he is local, like... He's a local tattoo artist who he's just basically left the country because he does certain things. He's got weird fetishes and somehow he just keeps getting himself filmed while he's doing them. And then they send it all over the place. It's like, lad, like what the fuck are you doing? Like, cool, you've got your shit, you've got your kinks, fine.
Yeah.
Stop letting people fucking record you.
Wait, is he in groups? Is it like in a club or? Like,
no. He's just fucking likes to be farted on and that, and he's just basically fucking nosedived his career a bit by following this pursuit of fucking sense.
For getting farted on?
Aye.
That's it?
I mean, it's up there, but it's not outrageous, but he's
Is somebody farting on you?
But it's more the people he's mailing to have it done to him by, which is
like a big, massive thing.
No, like one of the issues one of the lassies had was because one of the lassies was not old enough to be tattooed, but he'd requested to tattoo her, and the payment would be pumps, essentially.
She farted on him?
Pretty much.
That's it?
That's weird for the general public, though. Like, imagine if you were a 17-year-old lassie and some guy's mailing you saying, like, I'll do this, but fart on me. He'd probably fell off.
Yeah, you know, I get the whole sort of thing, but I mean, like some of the guys that I know, right, and the names will not be named.
Oh, I'm definitely not naming names. They
know who they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, they know who they are, and some of the things, I remember.
I got a video sent through fucking yesterday of another fucking situation he's ended up in, and it's just like, why, mate?
Was he got like a Brazilian bird doing a 23-second fart with 7 notes in it, and one of them at a C?
She's just bouncing on his face while whipping the utter shit out his legs and his arse and that. It's like, why are you getting recorded, lad? Like, what are you doing?
He must love it. He must love the attention.
But I don't know, like, to be fair, like, he's left the country.
Right.
Do you know, like, because it got a bit of traction, and fucking...
Well, they talk to marketing agencies, they say there's no such thing as
no such thing as bad publicity. This is very true, mate. This is very true. And it's
like, I mean, I remember, like, I was, for the purposes of anonymity, there was a conversation that was had, and the conversation was along the lines of, this thing happened, and it was girls that were talking. We'll keep it at girls.
Cool.
There was girls that were having a conversation, and one of the girls was explaining that one of her friends was doing this thing, and basically this long explanation about what she was doing was like a huge thing.
Okay.
And it was really quite orchestrated and elaborate, the story and the build-up. And the whole build-up was that it was over the top relative to what she was being asked.
Aye.
What she was doing. And I remember hearing this, and I thought, like, I'd been in the gym training, and somebody had mentioned, like, what they like to get up to. And it would have been, like, if you think of, like, a skyscraper, Mikey, this sort of thing that was being described was the doorman at the front door. And imagine the escalation levels. Like this thing wouldn't have even got in the front door that was being described and blew out of proportion. And what was happening in the gym would have been, you'd have had to went through many levels of security, because the sort of levels of seediness that was being described in the gym, and I remember just thinking, like, what? There's two worlds that exist here.
Yeah.
There's you think this is a massive deal, and it's like it's not really. Wee Davey's doing this like on like for fun on a Tuesday night, but he does this at the weekend, and it's way out there. And if you even got an idea of what this is, this just looks like nothing.
What was it?
Let me think. But what he was doing, or what?
Well, whatever this thing was with the girls that was fucking like mental.
I'm trying to think. I can think what it was. Because I remember just thinking that's not.
So they thought it was bad, but it wasn't really.
Aye, it was like it was even to the point where I was now disengaged in the conversation. This is fucking.
I don't think what he was up to is overly shocking, but it's different. It's rare, probably not as rare as what you think.
Right.
But a lot of these people have never had this. Like there, this guy is doing this. He's getting fucking. Letting himself be fucking filmed.
Aye, no, the guy in the gym was talking about a dominatrix and like getting walked up and down on heels and.
I've got a few clients that do that for a living. It's fucking interesting. Like shit.
Essentially like an adult event where it's just anything goes, and he went like full.
I don't know if I can
full tilt. We're probably going to edit a fair bit of this.
I don't. Well, I was about to say something there, but I don't know if I can actually tell you on this because it would, like, I shouldn't know. If you get me.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think that person is bound by law. So I shouldn't know about X, Y, and Z. But I do. Yeah. And aye.
And that's the thing is, like, I can't...
can you talk about it out of context?
Sometimes you're better just making
everything up.
You can tell a story about your pal. Like, say, you were I've got a pal
that fucking, you could do. And then, or you could just Ricky Gervais it, where you tell the story, but say, I'm not going to tell that story because X, Y, and Z.
That's a good one.
And that's a good legal escape route. But anyway, so I've got a pal, right?
So your pal?
My pal, and they worked in this particular flat where fantasies were.
If you were looking to go and get a fantasy lived out, you would go to this.
You would go to this particular place, and this gentleman's fantasy was to request that all of said bags that men ejaculate into were collected and fed to this gentleman at the end of the week. and my pal had to talk these people through their emotional side that was left after these acts, quite like a counsellor of sorts. And fucking...
So the person helping the fantasies take place in the flat was left scarred to the point where they had to go and speak to someone.
Have a chat about what they were having to do to said person.
Oh, my word.
It was just like, wow, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's worse than farts, for sure.
That's way worse than farts.
That's up there, like.
But you know what makes me laugh is, see when you get someone that casually throws in something really quite outrageous, and it leaves you have that initial. Did you just say that?
That's what I'm saying. My client, a couple of clients that work in that dom world, and some of the stories, and it's just funny. Like, Ken, like one of them was just like, I need to get a bigger strap on. It doesn't hurt the guy enough, and I'm like, but Ken, like, it's a normal. Ken, it's not like, Ken, it's just like saying I went to the shops. Ken, like, it's just completely normal in their world. Right. Ken, they're
talking like they need an extra screwdriver.
I need to get a new bit of kit because my other ones, that's no good enough. Do you know what I mean? And it was just kind of like that. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Asking the questions. I'm like, tell me more.
I remember going to see this job years and years and years ago. I'm a young guy out doing doing the bit, going to see clients.
Yeah.
This guy, I remember because I was fairly hungover.
Yeah.
and it was what to just get through the day. So you're trying to get as easy a day as possible, and the diary was ram-packed. So I was like, right, cool, go and do it. And anyway, last client had to go and see, popped into his property, he's looking to get some work done, no bother, and to go and measure it, and it was in the flat was really quite small, it was traditional.
Okay, this is what you did in your previous life, huh? Yeah, I remember
small
that.
Victorian sort of flat. So there's a bath there's a very, very narrow gap to go and measure the bath. And this guy is clearly lighting his feet. Confirmed it when he says he just broke up with his boyfriend. Started putting on some music because he liked to DJ.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's great. It's cool. And he was like, well, I'll go and get measured up. So he's went into the bathroom and he's like, I want to change this window here. So I was like, okay. And he's waiting there, and the walkway it's very, very tight. And I'm thinking, no, you're going to need to come out, so I can get in. And he's just standing there. So I remember, I was like, right, so if you pop out, I'll sort of get in and get all the sizes that I need. So you've got two options here, Mikey. I can either walk with my face to the wall, or I can walk with my face to the bath.
Yeah.
Right. And I've walked down with my face to the wall.
Yeah.
And I've took all the sizes. Now the guy is now at the door of the bathroom, and I'm at the other end of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And now I've turned around and I've had a look in the bathroom, and can now see the full perspective of the bathroom. And do you remember when you remember when they used to have the sort of the tray that went over the bath, and you'd sit like the back washer and the soap and a sponge, you would have it in the bath, and you could lift it out and put it back in.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're on about. It's like the drip shelf thing. So I get you.
Exact same thing. Like, that's the idea. But I've turned around, I'm speaking to the guy, and the guy's talking to me, and now I'm looking at the bathroom, and I'm having a conversation with this guy at 2:00 on a Sunday afternoon. And there is a huge rubber dildo that went from one side of the bath to the other, and between me and him, just thought, if you look straight ahead to my 1:00 is this fucking gigantic elephant's trunk of a fucking cock. And I'm thinking to myself,
lad's got a capacity.
I don't know how you and your man broke up. I don't know if this has got something to do with it. And I don't know how you maybe you've not clocked this is here, or it's a permanent bit of furniture. I'm not really sure what the rules are. And I'm like, hey, if that's your thing, then
sweet,
more power to you.
Yeah.
And crack on with great turn of phrase. But this thing was gigantic. And I remember trying to think, do I look at it? Do I acknowledge it? Do we sort of, that's a cracker? That's a beauty there, mate. Do we just ignore that it's there?
Aye.
And I'm thinking, man, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of this. This thing, you could have took this fucking dildo out, right? And you could have put it in the wall to the bath, and this thing would have fucking tipped over the bath. It was that big. And I just thought, what are you going to do with this? And I was like, I need to get out here before that.
Start asking questions.
Just, game face on, keep it head down.
When I was a joiner, lad, you found tons of stuff. I think people forget, they've got their stash spot for their toys. Mm-hmm. And I think when you're in, because obviously I was a window fitter, so you need to move shit to get into windows. And your lassies with a wee stash spot at the side of the bed, and you need to move the bed, and you're not just going to, so you just be like, it's your window's done, put your things in the drawer. And then you can do like, thanks. And you're just like, you can't move or come in.
Yeah.
So do they leave it on purpose? And you can generally tell by their reaction, if it was an intentional left or if it wasn't. Because you can tell just someone's pure just out fucking oh shit, sorry mate. Or someone
the
that's just
twinkle in their eye.
Same pal.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Did you get any of them that you think intentionally left it?
I think so, because some of them were obvious. It's literally on the fucking bedside table. Donk. You're
Just swinging like that. like
Sound.
like, you know, like the Churchill dog, and it's just fucking the thing's just swinging around.
It's not long been put there. There's still fucking.
That's the
motion.
point in time where you just say, "Look, I don't know about you, but do you think the Earth's flat?" I think you fucking go straight.
Yeah.
That's the time where you need to drop in a heavy duty sort of mind, you know, a mind bending conspiracy.
I had a fucking situation not too recently, but I had to clear out a certain bedroom in my household and found a certain something that I was not expecting to fucking find, which was great fun, absolute fucking hoot. So I sent her a text. I'm like, "Do you need this?" She's like, "You can throw away the box." I was like, "Fuck's sake!" I'm like, "Thank you for that." Another chapter for the book.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you they've hidden. So
imagine, like, I remember it was talking about, like, you know, when somebody needs to go and clear out a house, like if somebody's passed away.
Yeah.
Like some of the things that you find. I know because I've bought houses, and you go and there's stuff in the loft, and, you know, there's a VHS up the loft that says FIFA fucking
Animal
like
Farm.
Scottish Cup 96, and you're like, no, it's not.
no danger.
It's not. But
and it's a blank fucking no labelled
there's
VHS.
There's 28 VHSs, and they're all in the same match.
Yeah.
Nah, no danger. And I went to a property, and there was a really I remember buying it, and I thought, that's fucking a weird. You know, like if you were mountaineering, it's like a fucking strange looking hook. And there were just wee things that were starting to come in the house,
like
Mikey.
just hanging from the roof.
And it was like a random spot. Like you thought,
yeah.
what the fuck would you hang for there?
Is it in a corner? Because it could be one of those hanging roof chairs.
No, front and centre.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it was weird things like all the doors had mortise locks on them. Why would you fucking have mortise locks here? And then I was starting to think, you would find just wee sort of little empty box here.
Yeah.
You know, that bin hadn't been emptied here. And I'm like, And then I got real confirmation, because where the property was, there was like a car park, and the car park was elevated. So if you were in the car park, you would be eye line with this room.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the blinds looked as if they were closed, but if you were out in the car park, you could actually see a little bit in.
Yeah.
So when I'd bought the property, chatting to the neighbour, and like, what are you going to do with it? Yada yada yada. And it was like, I just need to change some of the doors and change the kitchen and stuff like that. So I feel like plaster work done and all that, and just general chit chat. There's a few hooks and stuff like that. We'll get them taken out. I don't know if they were like doing mountain climbing. He's like, no, that was the sex swing. They didn't think that we knew about it, but you could. And he goes to explain with the blinds, you can actually see from the car park. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, right, okay. And there's a great. I could write a book. You know, the tales of a property investor.
You should, mate.
I'm telling you, like, and I would. There's just some things that, you know, when you need to say, there was a story that I'd heard.
Yeah.
It would be like that.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Once upon a time in a land far, far away.
I like it when you've got all the sort of, like, in the old, like, Glasgow heavies chatting, kind of like Paul Ferris and such, like, and everything starts with allegedly. I think it's fucking brilliant. Well, allegedly we did this, and I'm like, that's fucking class.
Aye.
Which means we did this.
Yeah. we understand the line of questioning that we may be asked, and we've been in this situation often enough, we need to use this word.
It's class. I fucking love it. Immediately when someone says allegedly, I'm like, deadly. This is going to be a good story.
But it's good because you can preface it. I remember it was a really successful property guy, and he was a bit of a character, and he would tell tall tales, and his whole bit was that he would tell tall tales at these events, and some of them would be true and some of them would be made up. You had to work out which was which. And that would get all sorts of chat going on. That's quite a good tactic. A really, really good tactic. So you think we should open these questions up to your crew? Because I reckon they're going to come out.
Was that them all?
That was all. That was a starter. Would one about too much?
Child's play.
Easy.
Child's
Think
play.
you could go more?
Oh, aye.
Any question off limits?
Nope.
You'd get out the dodgy Fritzo ones and stuff like that. They cut them out for the real weird ones.
That's it.
Fucking Hellraiser with the pass load nails in their skull, walking about farm foods, pretending that they're a normal, a normal human, and not want to, just slice and dice up the planet.
Who was going on about that at one point? I can't mind who it was back in the day. Someone was like, that's a clear indication that someone's after nuts. Some kind who's got an inside-out farm foods bag. Might have been Kevin Bridges or something like that. But Ken, like,
I've never seen that one.
It was ages ago. He's like, Ken, first off, who has a farm foods bag?
Aye. Why would you turn it inside out?
Well, obviously to try to hide that it's a farm foods bag, but Ken, it's a farm foods bag.
Aye. It's like when you're in the gym and you're cooking, you've went to the manager and you're like, look, stick the aircon on, and he's like, it's on, and it's sweltering in here, it's roasting, and then you've got the guy who's just came in with the beanie hat on, and the full shot, and but he's one for the watching.
Aye, he's a fucking
something's up here.
Absolutely.
When they give you the scenarios and they're like, what, you remember Men in Black where he's doing the test, and like what stands out, and there's all these aliens jump out and they're like,
the wee lassie with the book.
What's the wee lassie doing? And they books are way above her level. And it's like, we know. It's like that. It's that sort of setup.
Fucking right.
So we'll put out the questions to your crew. We'll see what they want. See what they say. We'll get them get the weird and wonderful ones out.
Well, that's it. We'll see what comes out. Be interesting. But they were reasonably tame. But enough of the shite in the bedroom questions.
No for you, that.
Well, no game for that. I'm a pretty open-minded human being. Mm-hmm. But that definitely in the bedroom, piss and shite is my line, like. Absolutely.
No Kinder eggs allowed.
Kinder eggs. That's the line, like. Yeah. I don't know, it's a step too far for me, like that whole glass table banter. Nah, no.
The glass table banter?
Aye.
What's the glass table?
Well, it's kind of the same whole shitting on your chest thing, but apparently they lay under a glass table. I don't really fucking know, lad. It's not
a fucking cop out, that is. I know you. That's like sort of the halfway in.
Oh, maybe that's the build-up, lad. I don't fucking know. That's a world that I have no interest in entering.
You're definitely going to have a client that's fucking done that. You're asking for the purposes of this podcast. We want to know, is that
I reach out confidentially. Right. Like, so, we will not name names.
Like, you need... it can be your pal. Your pal could have done this.
Aye, but it'll be my pal that did it. Like,
allegedly. Rumor
start your messes with... Allegedly,
rumour has it that that's the limit, or rumour has it that's you're measuring if you're in this game or not.
That's you dipping your toe in the water. I might be into this, but I don't want it to hit me. I want to again. Maybe.
We're probably going to do like we'll need to stick this behind like a dark and seedy version where people can like the chapel where you say, hey,
this is
you can confess.
Posted after the watershed.
It's all anonymous. You can stick the questions in. Nobody will know, but you could all hear the chat about all the little naughty things you've been up to. You can get it all. You invent it all.
Well, you get that question thing. What is it? It's like the anonymous question thing you can do on Instagram. So folk can ask you questions, but you don't know who's asked you it.
Right? Is that a thing?
I don't know what it is. Loads of lassies put up like, ask me anything, and it's like is it NGL? I think I might be not going to lie. NGL maybe. And it's like this thing. I'll find out. I've seen a few folk do it and it's anonymous. Because some folk might be like, oh, blah, blah, but they don't want you to know.
Well, let's get it fired up on your feed.
NGL.
We'll see what the story is.
I'm sure it's NGL. If folk know what the fuck I'm talking about, tell me what it is and send me a link or whatever. I'll try and find it. But if I can't, if someone can tell me what that is that people do. I've seen it, but I've never done it.
Good. Well, thanks for making it over tonight with your incident.
I nearly fucking died, lad. And I've still got it. I don't know if is it cut or I'm all right.
Just looks like it's grazed.
Is it?
It looks grazed like a, you give someone a bang and it swells up like an egg.
Aye.
Looks a bit like that.
It's fucking sore, lad.
I'm
going to feel it in the morning. Like.
It looks like a good one.
Aye.
Still made it in though.
I did.
Good on you.
To give you some context, I stepped out the fucking house in the pissing rain, on the deck in, fell on my cunt, rattled my head off a fucking plant pot, launched my keys to a point in the garden that I could barely find them again, and Aye, great. What a fucking laugh.
And me looking up at the fucking constellation going, why is that not moved?
Why is that not fucking moved?
They're spinning on 3 axes and that's not moved.
Mate.
I'm like, you're lying there on your back, soaking on your wet decking.
Oh, mate. Ken, one of them where, Ken, because it was wet, and I'm like, oh, my fucking bleeding.
Yeah.
That'd have been a shocker, because my step's a big concrete block too. I'm lucky I hit the plant pot and not the corner of the step.
That's lucky.
Otherwise, I'd be a fucking statistic.
That's what happens with your sandals when you get a fucking crash helmet.
Mate, it was this shit on. I'd have been fucking fine if I had Crocs on. These fucking wanky Nikes about fucking took me clean out the game. Fucking Crocs are deck shoes. They're designed for that shit.
Well, Mikey lived to fight another day. He survived the wet decking with the Nike killer soles. He's answered some of the questions to get to know more about Mikey. So we're going to let rip in the Instagram, NGL, whatever that may be. So it's anonymous. If you like the content that we're putting out here, let us know which bit. Is it flat earth? Is it aliens? What would you do if you seen an alien? Is Elon Musk a higher power or an alien? Is he going to bore holes through the entire planet so that we've got like a mega subway? Or is it just the dark, seedy stuff and occasional encounters, not with aliens, but with dildos and everything in between? So let us know, hit us up.
I don't have any complaints yet, but this is, if anything's going to get them, I think it'll be this one.
We might need a bit of editing here. Dale will have his work cut out. So shout out to Bulletproof Studio. We'll see how bulletproof is because we're firing some shots in this one. We might need to stick this on the website so you can visit it if there's like an unedited, uncut edition.
You might need to download the Onion app to hear this one.
Well, that's us for another episode of Conversations with an Investor. You can get us on all our social media platforms. Mikey's will be in the show notes. And you can visit us on my website at cwipodcast.com. And for us this week, that's a wrap.